Hello everybody and welcome to That's United Stand. That's United Stand. That's what we're calling it now. That's United Stand. I didn't really nearly say that's football. Hello and welcome to That's United Stand, or as we normally call it, the United Stand. We're back. We're back. We've not gone anywhere. We've been doing content over the international break. But in the context of football, we're back. I feel like a kid at Christmas. It's a massive game. Manchester United at Newcastle. I don't need my earpiece in. I can get rid of that. Yeah, just really excited to be back. And we have got some early team news for you as well. So smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and get your comments in. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm getting goosebumps and I don't know why. I'm not even cold. Hello, Mark from the deep South USA. Anxious and hoping for some points today. In other news, could you sing us some Stone Roses to get the mood going, says Gummy. I don't tend to sing Stone Roses. I had Stone Roses on my tour. I actually mixed it up. I think in Dublin I came out to This Is The One, and in London I came out to This Is The One, but in Manchester I came out to She Bangs the Drum. So I mixed it up a little bit. So yeah, but this is the one. This is the one. This is the one we're waiting for. McTominay is starting today. I'm quite surprised by the team. I can't officially put it up on the screen at the moment because it's not official. But what I can tell you the team is from very good sources. So if it changes, it changes. But it's De Gea in goal, Delo at right back, Varane and Martinez. Luke Shaw's at left back, McTominay, Sabitzer, Bruno, and Anthony, Rashford, and Weghorst. Which I'm surprised by. I like the team, but I am surprised by a few things. A few people say, well, why is Delo starting? He wasn't very good in the Carabao Cup. I'm surprised that we've gone with mainly internationals. When you think about it, Fred and Wan-Bissaka haven't been playing international games. Sancho hasn't played international games. So I'm surprised that he's gone with Delo, who's played for Portugal. He's gone for McTominay and Sabitzer, who've been playing internationals as well, over Fred, who's had 2 weeks off. But I'm really excited about Sabitzer starting. We spoke about this, and Daniel says Sabitzer in, which is sweet. I'm really pleased that Sabitzer's starting because we were talking about this on the international break. Anthony Martial is on the bench, Dylan. The official team's going to be out very, very soon, so don't worry about that. But I'm really excited about Sabitzer starting because we spoke about it in the international break. Eriksen's going to be back very soon. Casemiro's going to be back very soon. If Sabitzer didn't start this game because McFred started, that puts him as third choice. When Eriksen and Casemiro come back, that puts him as fifth choice. He's got no chance of getting a permanent deal if he's going to be fifth choice. So the fact that he's starting today might be a bit of a surprise for some, but it's an exciting surprise because it gives him that opportunity to start pushing for the first team. And if he pushes into the first team, then we may well have him next season at Manchester United. So I'm very excited to see how it goes. On McTominay, always makes me nervous. I thought he was crap. Super crap against Fulham. He was absolutely dreadful against Fulham. But he's had a good international break. And the reason I think that Fred isn't starting and McTominay is starting is height. You know, size does matter. Size does matter. And that's not a sex thing. I'm talking about a height thing. It does matter because they are a side, Newcastle, that have got a lot of height. I mean, they've got Dan Burn playing at left back, who's massive. Then they've got people like Botman and Shaw. Then they've got people like Joel Linton and Longstaff. And then they've got people like Isaac. They've got quite a lot of height. So I think that it makes a lot of sense for them to do look, Casemiro is very good in the air. Casemiro is really good in the air. He's not playing. So I think it makes sense to play McTominay simply because he's tall. And I know some people won't like that, but we are playing a team that's tall. We've also got games in the midweek. So, yeah. And also, he had a good international break. So, look, I'm not a big fan of Scott McTominay. I think he's bang average. But ultimately, there's never a part of me that doesn't want him to play well. I want him to play well. So the team has come out. It is confirmed as we had it. So lots of people were messaging me when I said that Wan-Bissaka and Fred have missed out. They were telling me that Fred's starting and Wan-Bissaka's starting. Get your sources right, mate, because your sources ain't any better than ketchup. We had this absolutely spot on. Big shout out to Ryan and Sam on Twitter. Absolutely spot on. So it is De Gea, it is Delo, it is Varane and Martinez, it is Luke Shaw, it is Sabitzer, McTominay and Bruno, and it is Rashford, Weghorst and Anthony. And there's a few players playing there that we might not have had. Luke Shaw, there was a bit of a doubt. Rashford, there was a bit of a doubt. So good team. Bench, 2 goalkeepers on the bench, unfortunately. Bishop and Butland. Lindelof, Maguire, both on the bench with Malacia, Fred, Pelestri, Martial and Sancho. So it looks like Wan-Bissaka's actually got an injury. He's not even on the bench. So Wan-Bissaka's not missed out. So maybe that explains for everybody the Dalot absence there, because there is no Wan-Bissaka. So for anybody who's moaning about that, there is no Aaron Wan-Bissaka, unfortunately, for Manchester United in the team today. So let me just get that paused on there for you, for everyone who's tuning in, because that is the Manchester United side. Get your thoughts in. I've just got a problem here. I've just spotted a problem. Font issue on names for Newcastle. Let me get you the Newcastle team news as well, just while you're looking at that Man United side. But let's just have a look what everybody's saying in the chat. Also, we've had a couple of chats. Our bench looks better while Martial is in it, says Wong. And Josh, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for being a member of the channel, by the way. If you are a member, I can see a few there with their badges, like Hazim, who says Martial 30-minute cameo. Vicky, only Pope playing for Newcastle, should be a cakewalk. Yeah, we've got to sort that out for you. I will read you the Newcastle team out, but I'm just looking at your comments here. If you want to do a super chat, by the way, you can do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. And Andrew says that Dalot needs to play well. He'll be off after 20 minutes, though. Remember, Wan-Bissaka is not on the bench, so it's not a choice of Wan-Bissaka being benched for Dalot. He's not on the bench. I'd like to have seen Kobe as well on the bench. Mainu SK says, Martial, I've got everything crossed for the lad. We need him till the summer. Yeah, well, I think in relation to Anthony Martial, let's take the positives. He's on the bench. I don't think he's going to last. But the Newcastle team is Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Botman and Byrne. So they have got that height. Longstaff, Gomeres and Willock in their midfield 3. And then Murphy, Isaac and St. Maximin. They do not have Joel Linton starting, and they do not, and Almiron is injured. So, look, it's a massive game. I don't know about you. I've never really had a massive problem with Newcastle. And there's the team for you there going round now. You should be able to see the names on it. Perfect. Legend. I've never really had a massive problem with Newcastle until this season. A lot of their fans are complete and utter arseholes. I don't know whether you've had this. They are bloody horrible. I don't know where they've come from. They get a bit of money. And I've never had any... I know a few Newcastle fans. They're really, happy, down to earth. Their social media fans are absolutely vile. They need to learn. They're horrible. So I hope we bloody do win today, but they'll be up for it if they're not. Mark, do you think Bruno will play in the CDM role and McTominay in the Thames, says Kenneth? That'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Apparently Wan-Bissaka is ill, says Sean. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Something's obviously amiss there. There has been a bit of a bug virus going around Manchester United for the last few weeks. We used to call it COVID about a year ago, but now it's just a virus. But I don't know whether it's COVID. But there's a few United players over the last 2 or 3 weeks that have had illness. Remember, Varane had it. I think Anthony's had it. Wan-Bissaka's probably got it now. Ian says, congratulations on the live shows. Hope you do more of them. And now back to business. Come on, United. I like the lineup and it makes sense. And still no Weghorst jumpers, Mark. Bloody hell, says Werner. Yeah, well, we'll see if he gets a permanent deal. But it's McBitzer in the midfield, says Jack. I'm really excited about the lineup for Manchester United today. I never thought I'd be saying that with Scott McTominay in the midfield, but I can ignore that. And I probably would have started Fred, to be honest with you, but I can ignore that for the simple reason that we've got Sabitzer starting in a game for Manchester United. I'm somewhat surprised by the team, but I am pleasantly surprised by the team because I think it's a good idea that Sabitzer starts being given game time. And obviously Martial's on the bench as well. But look at that team. What are your thoughts? Back 5 is good. Midfield's got a battle. I think the fact that they're playing Willock and Longstaff with Bruno Gomeres makes them industrious, but I'm quite glad that Joel Linton's not playing because he can be quite dominant, especially with the absence of Casemiro. It's going to be a tough game for Man United. I think it's going to be tight, and I think we need to. I think if we can keep it down, if we can keep a clean sheet, I think we'll win. But if we can keep it down to 1, I think we'll get a draw at least. Would you swap St. Maximin for Martial? Says Sam. Thank you very much for the super chat, Sam. I think it's Stuart Atwell's the referee, says Cameron, or Pratwell. It could be a Pratt. Don't be a Pratt. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's ill, so anyone who's moaning about Delo, please support the team. You know, I've seen, you're taking me back to the frustrating times of pre-international break, where all I can see in the chat is people having a go at Delo. You've got no right. He's starting today because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is ill. I think Wan-Bissaka would have started. It makes total sense to me now why Delo is starting. I think Wan-Bissaka would have started a game like this, especially up against St Maximin. You know, Delo struggled against him in the Carabao Cup, but we don't have anybody else, so get behind your player. I like Delo, but I think Wan-Bissaka probably would have started. And as Terp says, support the team, that's it. Look, we've got Scott McTominay playing in the midfield. I think he's atrocious. I thought he was disgraceful against Fulham. I think I gave him a 2, but I don't really care. You know, at the end of the day, we need a performance, and he does give us a bit of height. When will McTominay get his yellow? I'm going for 43 minutes, says B. Yakov. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a little bit... I don't know whether Fred's a bit under the weather or what, because I'm surprised Fred's not playing. He's not even been on international duty. But we have got 3 games in 6 days. I think that's something to consider as well. We get so used to this, but it's really hard for Manchester United, by the way. I mean, it's always been hard. But if you think about it, we're basically playing Sunday evening, and our 3rd game is Saturday lunchtime. So when you put it like that, we're playing Sunday evening, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night play, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning basically play. It's 3 games in 6 days. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think he's not really going to get any rotation. We go with what we've got. Casemiro will not be back. He's suspended. Eriksen will not be back. He's injured. So maybe Wan-Bissaka will come back from illness, but he's got to probably mix it up a little bit. And remember, we're playing some good sides. I mean, look, I've said 7 points from the next 9 would be brilliant, and that's what we've got to go for. But look at who we've got. We've got Newcastle today, tough match. We've got Brentford on Wednesday. I mean, they've just had a brilliant game on Saturday afternoon, so they've had a whole day and a half rest compared to us. Brentford at Old Trafford on Wednesday, they're going to give us a game. And then you've got bloody Everton at Old Trafford on Saturday lunchtime. Really tough run of games, and I think we're going to have to rotate a little bit. So in some ways, look, it probably makes a lot of sense. It's a nice showdown between McTominay and Sabitzer. They need to prove their worth, says Christian. Look, if McTominay can't have a good game today, he's never going to have a good game. He's just had a really good international break. He's had a bit of hype. He's had a bit of praise. We need him to deliver today. And look, the game will be won and lost in the midfield. There's no doubt about that. And it will be a physical game. And Scott McTominay has got that. But I personally think it comes down to height as well. Look, you go through that Newcastle side, and look, obviously the goalkeeper's tall. He's not going to come up for corners, but he is tall. You've got Byrne at left back, tall. You've got Botman and Shaw good in the air. You've got Trippier, who's not tall, but he's very, very good on the delivery. Willock's not too bad in the air. Longstaff's big. And then you've got Isaac, who's big as well. So they've got a lot of big players in that team. And you look at our team, and we've got what? We've got McTominay, we've got Weghorst, Varane, and Luke Shaw. They've got a lot. You can see why he's picked McTominay. You really can, because height for Newcastle, both defensively and offensively, is a strategy. Fox says, I'm excited to see the boys back today. I'm happy to have Martial in the squad as well, and praying for McTominay not to have a stinker. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Can I just give a shout out? Well, I will. It's my show. That QR code in the top left-hand corner is for OneFootball. You can download it through the QR code with your camera phone or through the link in the description. The brilliant thing about OneFootball is it's free to download on Apple and Android. You can get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news there. And if you're watching a game, obviously we've got our live stats carousel that goes round. But within the OneFootball app, you can individualise the stats. So you can go into each player and see how many passes they've completed and all that jazz. So check it out. Links in the video description. OneFootball, and you can get all that there. Charlie Max is in the house. You'll know who Charlie is. He's a regular contributor to the channel. Hope you're doing well, Charlie. He says, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is better suited to St Maximin. That's being pedantic. I think we win 2-0. Come on, boys. Yeah, Charlie, I get it. There's a lot of people talking about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I was a little bit surprised when I heard that Delo was starting, but he's not on the bench, so he's ill. He's either ill or he's injured. He's not even an option. He's certainly not been dropped. And I think if he had been fit, he would have played. So it's one of those, isn't it? You've got to get behind the players. It's a bit like if Varane was out and you've got to play Maguire or Lindelof. It's not ideal. You'd rather Varane played, but he can't play, so you've got to get behind those players. Sancho is the future, says Anche. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that I've brushed over it a little bit here now. I'm pretty sure that Jadon Sancho is on the bench. Yeah, so our attacking options are Pellistri, Martial and Sancho. And then you've got Fred in the midfield. And then you've got Malacia, Maguire and Lindelof on the bench. And look, nobody wants to talk about Harry Maguire. But that's the reality, isn't it? He goes and plays 2 games for England. And he's really happy. And then he comes back to Manchester United. We've got a big game. And he's sat on the bench. Like... That's the reality of Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof at the moment. Whatever you think about them, they go on international duty, we play big games, and unless we've got an injury or we need to rotate, they're not in the team. Rashi and Bruno with fresh legs, scary, says Michael. Yeah, you know what? I mean, Bruno hasn't got completely fresh legs because he did go on international duty, but that international break wasn't too bad because I think even England played a week ago. So... normally international breaks you play on a Wednesday and then you're playing again on the Saturday. We've got a Sunday game and a lot of our internationals haven't played all week because their second international game was on like the Sunday or the Monday. I think Bruno played on the Monday. Mark, leave Victor alone. I like Victor Lindelof. I do like Victor Lindelof, but he ain't never starting over this guy or Varane, is he? Keep your comments coming in. We're surely going to play a double pivot, says Kyle. Oh, West Ham nearly made it 2-0 there. They're 1-0 up against Southampton. Brendan Rodgers has been sacked, by the way. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has turned into a great player, says Christian, but I think Delo will do the job. It's an interesting... I look at that game, and I look at where this game will be won and lost. Defensively, I think we're more than capable, but it doesn't matter how good your defence is if your midfield doesn't pick up the runners. The game will be won and lost in the midfield. Scott McTominay and Sabitzer and Bruno have got to get hold of that midfield. We cannot let a situation where Longstaff or Willock or Bruno Gomes are getting hold of that midfield and running from that midfield because it doesn't matter how good your defence is, you can't pick up those runners. Rashford and Anthony have got to track their fullbacks as well. I think there's a real opportunity for Anthony to have a really good game today. Dan Burn has had a fantastic season for Newcastle, but we can't play to his strengths. We're going to get the ball on the ground. And I actually think that St. Maximum is a crowd pleaser. He's the sort of player that gets you off the edge of your seat, and he can be absolutely amazing and he can be absolutely average. And I think with Manchester United today, with Delo being a little bit more offensive, we've got to attack down that right hand side, get the ball on the ground, and Anthony up against Dan Burn. I think people talk about when's McTominay going to get a yellow card. I'd be saying to Anthony, look, we're playing away from home. The crowd's going to be against us. Get out there and be a shithouse. Get out there against that Dan Burn, and I want you to run at him. Run at him and give him a few nightmares because that's where the strength is for Manchester United today. And the same with Trippier. And yeah, obviously the midfield. Watch the Newcastle strengths are the. It's just how much possession they can get up high up the pitch. I don't want to be conceding many corners because I think that's where they're going to be strong. And I don't want to see Delo one-on-one with some maximum attacking him a lot. Watching from KL Mark, any possibility United stand gathering at Southeast Asia? We got millions of United fans here, so don't rate down Efan. We have big role too. Hey, love it, Sir John. Love it. Isaac's dangerous. He's tall, good at dribbling, fast and good at finishing. I hate United, but they need to watch out for Isaac, says Pele. Yeah, well, I think we've got Varane back, which is good. But I agree with Olu. I think that the big excitement for me today is Sabitzer. I'm over the moon that he's starting. I genuinely thought that McTominay would start anyway because of his height, and therefore I thought he would go with Fred. So I'm really intrigued and pleasantly surprised that Sabitzer's in this team. It's a massive opportunity for him, and he's on loan at Man United. He's actually halfway through his loan now. At the end of May, which is only 2 months, and it was 2 months at the end of January that he signed for us, he's got 2 months to prove that he can be a United player. I think this is a massive show of faith from Erik ten Hag to throw Sabitzer into such a big game in the midfield. And this is his time. Eriksen's going to be back in about a week. Casemiro will be back in a week. he's got 2 or 3 games to really show what he's all about. And if he does really well, he's got a really big chance of staying at Manchester United. So I think it's a huge, huge game for Sabitzer. And he's the one I've got my eye on, really. I hope he can do well. And he had a good international break as well, says Ollie. And also, he's had a bit of a knock. He had a bit of a knock before the break. He had a bit of a knock on the break. So we need a big performance from him, says Ossian. And Southampton, I think, have just hit the bar here. I'm just keeping my eye on it. Over the bar as well with the shot. But Taylor's got 100% faith in him today as well. Score predictions, says TJ. Probably a little bit early, but we can do score predictions now. Let me get this stats carousel rolling around as well, because it's stuck on our team at the moment. And I know people want to see the Newcastle team. That's the league table as it stands. Of interest to us there is that we're in 3rd place. Newcastle are 3 points behind us. Talking about score predictions, if they beat us, they go ahead of us, and then if Spurs win tomorrow, we'd be down to 5th. So, look, it's not. I think we've got the better running, and I think we've got the better team when we've got everybody back. But we do have to be a little bit careful today, and a loss would be damaging, if not lethal, to our top 4 hopes. I'm going with a draw in this game. It's very hard after an international break to know what's going to happen, but I'm going to go with a draw today. I think it might be 1-1. Lots of love from North Korea, Mark. Any chance of touring here anytime soon? We've got extremely passionate fans, says Mon. Gavin Bazuna would be a great understudy for De Gea. Really underrated goalkeeper, one of the best this season, regardless of Southampton's form, says Kelly. Well, just because you get relegated doesn't mean you're a bad player. Sabi will have it hard. He generally plays to go forward, so he's going to have to rely on us. McTominay showing up as DM. Excited to see United back, says SK. Look, the game will be won and lost in the midfield. I think we can all agree on that. And a lot of people have spoken about how do you think the midfield 3 will line up. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a mix-up in the midfield 3. And what I mean by that is I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sabitzer and Bruno with McTominay in a more advanced position, because that's where he played well for Scotland. And also, if you watched Man United's last game against Fulham, McTominay got subbed off at half-time playing as the holding midfielder. He shouldn't be starting today at holding midfield. Like, he was absolutely crap at holding midfield against Fulham. So if McTominay is playing as the holding midfielder again today on his own, I'll be very surprised, because he was subbed off at half-time and he was dreadful against Fulham. So maybe we are going to mix it up a little bit. Maybe it is going to be a different midfield 3 in relation to how we play. And we've seen Bruno play a little bit deeper. Hi Mark, I'm from the States and I'm going to be in London for the FA Cup semi-finals. Any tips or advice on how to get tickets for Wembley, says Sebastian. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm sure you'll be able to get one, but they're probably quite expensive at this stage. Michael Southcombe says, I got to be honest, Mark, I'm more worried about Brentford on Wednesday than I am Newcastle. Brentford score goals, and in my opinion, they're a better team than Newcastle, even though Newcastle are higher in the league. Interesting take, Michael. It's going to be a difficult week for us, that's for sure. And Half says, the positive thing about Dalot starting is that he and Anthony can obliterate Trippier, as Murphy won't track back. You're on the wrong side, Half. You're on the wrong side, mate. Dalot, Trippier and Murphy are up against Shaw and Rashford. Dalot and Anthony will be up against Burn and St Maximin. But I still think you're half right, in the sense that I think if we can get forward, then you can exploit Dan Burn, who is not particularly quick. But I suppose it's the fear of St Maximin on the attack that's going to be a problem. It'll be very interesting to see how the game goes in relation to percentage of possession. Whether Newcastle, being at home, will want to have more possession, or whether Manchester United will be given more possession and they'll look to break on us. I mean, I think about the Carabao Cup final, and Newcastle did a lot of attacking in that game, and we almost caught them on the break, didn't they? So, I mean, we were very tired. We just played Thursday night. We don't have that excuse. Barmer's been a member for 7 months. Legend of the chat, if you know who Barmer is. Thank you very much, pal. Hope you're doing very, very well. And none of their fullbacks are quicker than our wingers, says Rems. Charles says he's feeling a little bit nervous. Anthony will have to be disciplined with his defensive duties, says Kaladin. Well, I would look, everyone's talking about the midfield. I would imagine the midfield will be a pivot. Logically, I think the pivot will be Sabitzer and McTominay. I certainly don't think we can... And remember, we were playing Fulham at home. So when you're playing at home, one holding midfielder, we tried to use McTominay like we use Casemiro. And at the end of the day, that's like, brushing your teeth with your toilet brush. It's stinky and unhygienic and disgusting. And it didn't work. In a pivot, we've seen McTominay do better in a pivot. I mean, look, there were games where McTominay did okay with McFred. I think we've got to go with the pivot here and play the two. We're playing away, so that would make more sense. I think when we play at home, we do play the one holding midfielder and Fred pushes forward with Bruno. But I think away from home, we'll probably play with a pivot. Sleep Tight says, Mark, I've just joined in. Why is Aaron Wan-Bissaka not on the bench? Well, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you for free that one. I mean, I'll tell you for free anyway. Sleep Tight. He's not on the bench because apparently he's ill. But we had a few people moaning about the selection at the start, but then the team news came out and he's not even on the bench. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka is either ill or got an injury, because you wouldn't put two goalkeepers on the bench and then drop Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka would have started this game. So yeah, he's we've got to get behind Delo today, this evening, because if we don't, that's all we've got. So yeah, we've got to get in. Wan-Bissaka is apparently ill. That's been confirmed by the Manchester Evening News anyway. So there we go with that. We should get some comments coming in from Ten Hag very, very soon. But it's definitely a very hard game to predict, I think, because we're the away side. I mean, look, I'm thinking back to the Carabao Cup. I'm thinking back to the game where we played them at Old Trafford, where we had that penalty that wasn't given, which is on Jadon Sancho, wasn't it? So look, that league table will change a lot if we lose this game. Anthony Martial normally does well against Newcastle, hoping for a scoring return and then a run of games and goals to save his career, says Glenny Boy. Paul Greaves is a member. He says Isaac is a handful and Anthony's going to have a good game, says Brian. Where's the bench? I can tell you what the bench is. We've got two goalkeepers on there. We've got Bishop and Butland. We've got Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia. Then we've got Fred, Pellistri, Sancho and Martial. So that's how we're lining up. I think on Anthony Martial, I'm a big fan of Martial. I think some of you are as well. Every tour date we did in London, Manchester and Dublin, I asked the question, put your hands up if you'd sell Anthony Martial, keep it down if you'd keep him. And I'd say over 50% said sell. So there's a lot of opinion on Anthony Martial. I really want him to do well. I think if he's playing today, we're a better team. I've played the game, says DB. I think if you look at if you look at Man United without Weghorst in that starting lineup and Martial in there, we're a better team. So that's not up for debate. That's what I'm waiting for. Like, if you put Martial there instead of Weghorst, we're a much better side. Everyone knows that, visually and ability-wise. But I just don't know. I mean, he could come on for 10 minutes today and get injured and be out for the rest of the season. That's how I feel about Martial. And nobody could accuse me of being negative, because we've seen it happen time and time again. So with Martial, we've just got to be, we've just got to see. Like Paul says, it's not against Martial. It's his body. It's his reliability. He doesn't want to come on the pitch and pull his hamstring or anything like that, does he? But nobody trusts the fact that he's going to stay fit. So, and even if he played well for 20 minutes today, we'd all be expecting that in training he's broken down again. So it's, I just think with Martial, it's a horrible thing to do in football, a really horrible thing to do in football, but let's say this. I'm just seeing how that West Ham goal was onside. let's say this about Martial. I forgot what I was going to say. Scooby-Doo better not do his hiding trick today. Yeah, I know what I was going to say. It's a horrible thing to have in football, isn't it? That you want some consistency and you want some trust. But with Martial, between now and the end of the season, every minute we get is a bonus, and at any minute he could be injured again. And we've seen that this season. So Lincoln Design says, leave Martial alone. I don't think anybody's having a go at him, mate. We're just saying that you can't rely on him. And we wish we could, but we can't. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is ill, yes. And wait, what minute do you predict Bruno to dive or whine, says 58 Go. I'm going to go in the 6th minute. Yeah, we don't predict stuff like that. We love Bruno on this channel. Fantastic player. But definitely a big game. Definitely a big game. I've played the game, and I think this is going to be a big game. I'm going to go with a draw. And I don't think a draw is a terrible result for United. I think a win is absolutely fantastic. But look, Newcastle. What's with our players being ill, says Swift Soul. Well, yeah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is ill. No doubt about that. Botman just left the ball hanging there, didn't he? Cheeky get. I've seen. I'm quite liking some of these. I'm quite liking some of these score predictions in the chat. I've got to be honest. I just don't know where you're coming from. A few people are going on about Man United winning 2 or 3-0. I bloody love that. We don't beat many teams 2 or 3-0, and certainly I think without Casemiro we're a problem. But look, I'm hoping that Marcus Rashford is well rested, and I'm hoping that United are a bit fresh. There's no doubt that, you know, leading up to that international break, I wouldn't say we were running on empty. We were still getting the results, but understandably, when you play from, you know, the date, December the 27th to, you know, virtually the end of March, every 3 days, you're going to be tired. And I think this 2 weeks has been a godsend for some of the players. So hopefully we'll see a bit of, you know, a little bit of a different Man United over the next few weeks before they get knackered again. But hopefully we'll get some players back and we can rotate a little bit. I certainly think the return of Eriksen and Casemiro will be absolutely huge. But yeah, this is a tough game for anybody. I mean, this is a tough game for Arsenal. This is a tough game for Man City. You know, they've only lost one game, and that was a late. Well, it wasn't a late. It was that was the game where Pope got sent off for Liverpool. So against Liverpool. So they don't get beat here very often. So anyone going with a win is brave. Let me just put this up. Pre-match. Chat. Get your questions in. We've still got half an hour till the start of this game. I'm still waiting on. I'm just looking for Erik Ten Hag's comments because I know they're going to come out. He might give us a. Here we go. Got it. Erik Ten Hag on Wan-Bissaka. Yesterday in the night, he didn't feel very good. Overnight, it's got worse. So therefore, we made the decision that he stays out. So it's illness. He says Varane and Rashford are magnificent players for us, and they can make the difference. So he's highlighting those players. And he said, in relation to Anthony Martial, every time when Martial is on the pitch, he has a massive impact on the team. And I think that's sort of what we've been talking about, isn't it? It's such a frustration for Erik Ten Hag. Whatever I think, whatever you think, some of you think we should keep him, some of you think we should sell him. But what you cannot understate is that Ten Hag constantly says when Martial's on the pitch, we're a better team. I can't speak. I can't even predict how many games Martial has started for United in the Premier League this season. I think the percentage would be scary. I would imagine at this point it's probably below 30%. Might be comfortably below 30%. So to not have this player that he knows suits his team and be where we are, I mean, where would we be with Anthony Martial? We certainly wouldn't be in a top 4 race. I'm not saying we'd be in a title race, but we'd have a few more points. Isn't starting McTominay instead of Fred a defensive risk in the midfield? If Sabitzer is forced to be CDM, what is the ball progression coming from? So Stephen, I think it's a height thing why McTominay's been picked. Poch to Leicester, Nagelsmann to Chelsea, then Enrique to Spurs, and Rodgers is now sacked. I'm surprised it took them so long, says Nathan Allen. And Sabitzer masterclass, says Jack. feeling a 1-0 Man United win with Sabitzer scoring from outside the box. Well, we'd love that, Jack. I'll tell you what, if Man United win today, it's a massive, massive result. As I say, I think a draw would be okay. Hi, Mark, a little off topic, but what's your thoughts on the City game yesterday, says Jay? Very, very quickly, I thought City played very, very well. I thought they played a little bit better than I've seen them recently because Haaland didn't play. They played a more progressive, pressed side. But, I do find myself thinking, how did we lose to Liverpool by so many goals? Because defensively, they're shit. I said it before, I'll say it again. Liverpool can beat us 7-0 every season at Anfield as long as we're fighting for trophies and in the top four and they're in the mid-table. I'll take one. I think we'd all take it, wouldn't we? I don't mind us losing to Liverpool 7-0 every season as long as we're winning trophies in the top four and they're not. I mean, that's progression for us. If anybody had said to us at the start of the season, considering we've just come off the worst Premier League season we've ever had, considering we hadn't won a trophy for 5 or 6 years, if somebody had said, you can win trophies, you can get Champions League football, but you've got to go to Anfield and lose 7-0, we'd have all done it. We'd have all done it. It was a weird day. It was embarrassing, but, will you be in the press box for the US pre-season, says Nelly? I don't know. I don't know what games I'm going to yet because I don't know where we're playing. All we know is that the reserves are going to play Wrexham. And Sabitzer masterclass incoming, says M. And Wout has more of a positive impact than we talk about. He frees up the space, says Daniel. Well, yeah, we've heard Ten Hag talking about that. He was talking about it in his press conference, wasn't he? G-Man says 7-0 every season, no thanks. Yeah, but you're not thinking it through. What if I said, all right, you can win 1-0 at Liverpool, but you're going to be 8th and you're not going to win a trophy? You can say you can be all house proud and say no. But the reality is, I don't like losing to Liverpool at all. I don't like losing 7-0. But if that was the payback for the season we've had so far, I'd take it. Of course I would. As I say, I remember that season when Vidic had a nightmare against Torres. They beat us home and away. We won the league. Would I rather beat Liverpool home and away and then they win the league? No, I'd rather they beat us and then we win the league. I'm not bothered. It's a long season. You don't win a cup. Well, you do win a cup if you're a Liverpool fan because they basically went and printed a load of mugs with 7-0 on, but what a trophy, Anyway, back to the chat. I already have tickets for Wrexham game and I'm waiting on the Vegas ones as well. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Rashil says, when is Ericsson going to be back? He's not messaged me, so I can't tell you that. But I think he'll be back next week. I think it's very unlikely that we'll see him before that. So maybe Sevilla at home. I think that's the first leg, isn't it? Maybe we'll be back for that. No. I think we're away first, actually. So maybe we'll be back for that one. But what I will say is, I think the next week we're going to have to go with what we've got. The only player I can think that will be back for Brentford or Everton is Wan-Bissaka. Yeah. Please do subscribe, by the way. We're on 625,000, top right-hand corner. Let's see if we can get 626 today. We're only 500 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. You're all very welcome on the United Stand, of course. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 a.m. and everything in between. We've got Ben Foster on the show tomorrow. Mondays we have Ben Foster on. Fabrizio comes on every other Monday as well. Loads of stuff going on the channel. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved. Massive summer to come if we can get rid of the owners. Martial needs to be careful on the bench. He might injure himself sitting down, says Simon. I want to see a proper Anthony shithouse performance, says Lee. Well, you've obviously been watching the channel because that's exactly what I said. When I look at this game today and I look at that Newcastle side, I think their left back, Dan Burn, has had a great season, but he's a centre-back. He's not somebody that wants a winger running at him. And I think if we can move the ball quick enough and get that ball to Anthony, I'd be telling Anthony to run at him as much as he can. Because, look, Trippier against Rashford, it's an opportunity, but Trippier's a fullback. Dan Burn isn't, and I think Anthony's got to really get at him and utilise his skill and movement, because I think that's an area of the pitch that we can do something in. Ever the optimist, but I'm hoping Anthony Martial gets fixed like Rafael Varane. Either way, he would need competition next season just in case, says Glennie. Look, the long-term future of Anthony Martial is not up for discussion today, is it? But what a horrible season it's been. I mean, I just can't believe how injured he's been. Hopefully Anthony doesn't overdo it. Just go direct, says Livewired. Yeah, we don't want to see loads of ball rolls and stuff. Just get the ball and move it forward. But cracking game this is going to be. Newcastle, we've spoken about them. They're certainly going to be up for it. There ain't no doubt about that. And I think that they're going to give us that crowd's, it is what it is. Look, whether they're a sleeping giant or a sleeping shrew, they are a team on the up. And as I say, they certainly like to give it out on social media. I don't know where this has all come from, but there's a few Newcastle fans that are actually quite vile. I don't know whether you've seen them on social media, but they're actually really not very nice. So let's hope we can get a result today, because if they beat us, they're above us, which is, it's interesting because I think we'll comfortably get top four looking at our run-in, but in the short term, we might actually end up, dropping out of the top four over the next couple of games if we don't, if we get beat today. So long term, I think we will get top four. I think we've got the better run-in, but today, look, it is a 6-pointer, as somebody said. You've got to go out there and you've got to, not get beat. That's the first thing. And that means that we do what we've done for most of the season. We build it off a strong defence. Pushan's a member. Thank you very much. He's been a member for 32 months. Remember, if you want to become a member, you can click the join button. Pushan says, we'll move to Oxford soon from Sweden. Been told that I need to subscribe 5 different channels with 100 for all Man United games. Is it true? Yeah, Pushan, welcome to the UK. You probably pay 1 subscription to watch every Premier League game. Over here, you've got Sky Sports, you've got BT. That's basically it, but there won't be every game on there. Why is Scott McTominay playing? He's awful, says Anthony Taylor Sucks. Height, I think. And DeMarc says, funniest Goldbridge moment, it's like your grandma burning the Yorkshire puddings. You failed in the cooking department. Laughed at that all day, says DeMarc. What was that from? That was quite recent. Quite liked that clip, and I can't remember where it was from. Yeah, I liked that one. This is what weekends are all about. Not waiting for England games. This is real football. So glad it's back. And when are you doing a Birmingham show, says Jake. We've just completed the United Stand tour. If for anybody who turned up and enjoyed it, as you'll know, it was something a little bit different. There was a few stories in there and a few topical stuff and interaction, a bit of a quiz and all that. We really enjoyed it, and we're looking at doing a few more at the end of the season. I know that one date has already been confirmed, June the 3rd. I just need to tell you where the location's going to be. We're just trying to sort a few more out, and then we'll release those dates again. So yeah, looking forward to that, and I think they'll be great at the end of the season, won't they? Because we'll have know what we've done. I think I'm thinking of like doing a bit of a live show, award show voted for you, and then the stuff that we did before. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Thanks everyone. With Almiron out today, I think Newcastle will be a bit one-dimensional with St Maximin down our right. Should be a good day for Shaw and Rashford on the left. Yeah, I don't really rate Murphy much. Trippier's obviously very good, but again, look, I think the flank's the way to go. Dan Watson says, I think we're going to win today. I don't rate Newcastle team. Nothing but time-wasting cheats. Dan, this is going to come back on us. Gameres will be on the floor screaming for cards after 5 minutes. What do you reckon about... Would Vincent Kompany do well at Leicester? As I think it's a good shout. I don't know why he'd leave a team that's going to get promoted to the Premier League to go to a team that might get relegated from the Premier League, Nathan, so I don't think he'd do it. We will win today because Maguire isn't playing, says Ali. Well, that didn't work at Anfield, did it? And Dublin show was excellent. Really enjoyed it. Thank God the Prem is back, says Muzzy Lions. Thanks, pal. Really enjoyed it. I do feel sad that the tour's over, but then it's comfort blanket time because we've got the Premier League back. We've got Man United back. And we're back, as much as it's been great, United playing every 3 days, I think we did need that international break, and I think the players did need it. But I've got to say, I'm hungry again now, and I'm actually quite excited that we're playing 3 games in 6 days, and it's a big challenge for the players. But 3 Premier League games in 6 days is a treat, isn't it? There's no crappy Carabao Cup game against Stoke in between, or a Europa League tie against Azerbaijan. It's 3 Premier League games in a row, and they're good oppositions. Brentford away on Wednesday is going to be tough, and then Everton next weekend on the Saturday at home will be tough as well. Anything but a loss today would be good for top 4, says Tony. Yeah, look, nobody wants a draw. You don't want to go into a game that's not even started and say a draw is a good result. But I do think that a draw today if it ends up being a draw, and we don't know how the game's going to play out. I think if it does end up being a draw, it's not a terrible result for us. Sorry, I was just sorting my door out. It is Brentford at home, Ryan, yes. Let me just have a look in the chat. Just want to give a few members a shout out. Lee Berman, New Century Hall, what a venue that was. Oh, Lee, New Century Hall in Manchester, that was absolutely fantastic. Loved it, what a show. They were all different in their own way, and obviously I went to all of them, but the Dublin show was a bit of a smaller venue over 2 tiers. New Century Hall in Manchester was like a hall, and the lights was fantastic with a bar at the end. And then the London one at Clapham Grand was like a really old theatre on 3 tiers. So, yeah, just amazing. Charlie Chaplin played at one of them. Not with us, he wasn't the support act, but some of the people who played there. Rolling Stones was at one of them as well. So, yeah, amazing. Really enjoyed it. Anyway, back to the football. America Deuce, thanks for being a member for 16 months. I've played the game, says Eduardo. Must-win game. Look, I never go into games thinking a draw's okay. Newcastle's last 7 results are quite interesting. They've not won loads. They draw quite a lot, but they don't lose at home, Newcastle. So I think this is... If I was somebody who was betting on football results, which I don't, I think I would go for a draw. But that's not a bad result for United. But you know what? You probably feel the same as me. The international break without football, get out. I mean, this time last Sunday, England played Ukraine. I had 2 choices: watch Southgate's England or clear the garage out. And all I can say is the garage looks really clean now. But this is exciting. But you then sort of wonder to what the result will be. How are you going to feel in a couple of hours' time? And, you know, a loss would be, wouldn't be great. Like, we'd be down to potentially, we'd be down to 4th. And then if Spurs win tomorrow, we'd be down even further. But that's football. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Have faith in Erik ten Hag. This is the way, says Yuri. I just think that this United side here should have more... Bring back the chart show, says Joshua. I will bring the chart show back. It's just, there's been so many games, it's hard. Eddie Howe smells, pass it on, says Jake. I thought you said Eddie Howe smells a piss, but it's pass it on. Which member of the squad would you say puts in the most Turbo Pratt performances, Adam? Look, McTominay was a Turbo Pratt against Fulham, and even Ten Hag agreed with that. He he took him off, didn't he? So, look, McTominay needs to do a little bit better, but, he can't do any worse than how he played in the last game, let's be fair. Hi Mark, I've been watching you for years on all your channels. I suffer major depression. Your videos have been a real highlight for me and kept me going, says Peninsula. Well, thank you very much for supporting the channel, mate. And we've got a fantastic community here. And it definitely feels like a community. So wherever you're watching, remember we're all in it together here, interacting. Big game of football. Something about how I really don't like, not sure if it's that he looks like Tommy Robinson or that he goes on like a competition winner, says Sean. I'm indifferent to Eddie Howe. I'm indifferent towards Newcastle until I saw some of the vile stuff a lot of their fans say on social media. And I thought, you know what? You're not this happy-go-lucky fan base at all. How you represent yourself on social media is very, very toxic. So, I think Liverpool fans represent themselves on social media better than some Newcastle fans do. I don't know where they've got this all from, but they're not very nice. So, look, screw Newcastle. We need to get a result here today. And I don't have a problem with them, but they bring it on themselves. For once, my Sky subscription is relevant, says King. And did you say June the 3rd mark for a tour date? Because that's FA Cup final day. No, it's not, Glennie. FA Cup final would not be played on a Tuesday. Anthony scores when Diego plays, says Shep. And that's what 15 of you... So many Newcastle fans are here. I don't mind Newcastle. I haven't got a problem with Newcastle, but I'm just... And it's not all Newcastle fans, because I know a lot of Newcastle fans and they're really nice, but some of their fans on social media are worse than any. It's a weird one. I don't get it. I really don't. Apparently we've got some more comments from Erik ten Hag coming on. The FA Cup final would not be played on a Tuesday. I don't know when the FA Cup final is being played. It must be June the 6th. Sorry, June the 6th. I've got it mixed up. June the 6th. We're not doing June the 3rd. June the 6th is a Tuesday. If I had one complaint about Erik ten Hag, he doesn't use youth enough. Iqbal is ready to be used more. He should be first sub. We are a couple. He's class, says Noah. Well, I disagree. Started a new job recently that forces me to miss the weekend games, but trust I'll be strong here during the weekend, says Mark. Thank you very much. Hunter, thank you very much. June the 3rd is a Saturday. It's been confirmed. When does the Premier League end then? Does the Premier League end on must finish on the 26th or something like that? So we will play, I think the way it works for United is last game of the Premier League on the Sunday, Europa League final on the Wednesday, and then FA Cup final on the 3rd. Let's see how wins the midfield, the long-awaited Longstaff versus McTominay battle, says Nick P. Yeah, we've all been waiting for that. We've all been waiting for that. It's the big one. It's the big one. I'm not nervous. I find it difficult to be nervous when, you know, you've had such a long wait for a game of football, you know? So I'm not nervous. I'm excited about this because it's been such a long wait without football. But look, Mainu, Iqbal, they don't play because Ten Hag doesn't think they're ready to play. He's always said youth is not a barrier, but you've got to be better than what I've got. I'm not going to put a youth player in because he's 18. I'm going to put a youth player in because he's better than what I've got. Pellistri, Garnacho, he felt they were doing a better job than Elanga, Sancho, whoever. So he's put him in the team. Mainu, Iqbal have got to prove that they're better than McTominay, Sabitzer and Fred. And look, at the end of the day, Eriksen and Casemiro are out injured at the moment and he's only got one midfielder on the bench. But he obviously doesn't feel that Mainu or Iqbal at this moment in time are ready to be on the bench for Man United. I don't like that. I know a lot of you don't like that, but Erik ten Hag does give you the facts. He does give you the facts. And those are the facts. You know, he doesn't at the moment. And we've got one midfielder on the bench, by the way. One midfielder on the bench. So, you know, that's where we're at the moment. So, there we go. I'm putting my life savings down for McTominay to bag a hat-trick. Look, don't be surprised, Rohan, which is a very nice area of Middle-earth, and also a name. Don't be surprised if Scott McTominay's playing a little bit more advanced today. I wouldn't mind McTominay playing a little bit more advanced today because, really, that's where we've always considered his best position to be. Maybe Bruno and Sabitzer will play a little bit deeper, but I think we won't. I don't think McTominay can play as bad as he did against Fulham, and I don't think he'll be left on his own like he was against Fulham. So let's wait and see on that one. Oh God, I've got someone messaging me now. Scott, I am being nice to you. I've got United in my last man standing, so they better win. Can't be going out in the first round, says Jay Rayner. I think they fired Rodgers because he expressed an interest in Maguire coming back, says Rob. Yeah, Bango's another dream. Mark, you're the GOAT, says Jacob. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do, we are about 10 minutes away from the start of this game. Football's back. I'm so excited. I hope you're enjoying it. Remember, we're live on the United Stand for every Manchester United game, watch along, an hour before with the team news, right the way through till full time. Then I do my match reaction with player ratings, and then we've got the fan forum in the studio, which, to be honest, I'm not on it, but I love it. I love the fan forum. So get ready for that all the way through till probably about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to be live with different shows. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, it's free to do it. We're trying to get to 626,000 tonight. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the channel and the community. We've just been on tour for 2 weeks. We've just done sellout shows in Dublin, Manchester and London. The United Stand is, it's massive. The community is massive. It's a worldwide community, but we're getting out and about and meeting people. So lovely stuff going on. Make sure you're part of the community. Fantastic, biggest football community, I think, as well. Can you explain why you disagree with using Iqbal more? I understand we need to implement youth slowly, but he has almost no minutes, says Noah. I've just explained it there, Noah. I can explain it even quicker. I'm not the manager. I don't pick the teammate. So, but the reason Iqbal's not getting on the bench, and I like Iqbal, I think he's really, really talented. I like Mainu as well. They're really, really talented. But Ten Hag has sort of told them, I'm not picking you just because you're young. I'm going to pick you because I think you're good enough. And at the moment, he obviously doesn't think they're better than what he's got. You know, he obviously feels that Scott McTominay and Fred and Sabitzer are better than those two players at the moment. With Garnacho, you know, there is a path to the first team. So it's there, isn't it? My only frustration would be if I was Iqbal is why wasn't I allowed to go on loan? Because that's how you play games, isn't it? Hi, Mark. Hopefully United can start off the end of the season with a win. Also, do you think that a manager could improve or develop a player's weak foot? In United's case, could Ten Hag help Anthony with his right foot, says Joshua? I think look, I'm in my late 30s and I can still challenge myself to, you know, top bins it or, you know, do 1,000 keep ups and stuff like that. You can always improve. I don't think it matters what age you are. If you've got no left foot, you can work on your left foot. I mean, unless you're like 90 and you're in a wheelchair, it's never going to work. But yeah, players should be able to work on their weak foot, but I don't live that life. I don't know that journey. I don't know why they wouldn't work on it. You know, you can do it. It's like being a 5-year-old and, you know, learning to kick with your right foot and then, you know, left foot. It feels horrible, but you just keep working on it and working on it. I'm telling you, Marky, a Scotty world-class performance is incoming, says Abdul. I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, Abdul. I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, because it's been a long, long time since Scott McTominay's had a good game for Manchester United. A long time. We are talking... I think the last time I saw McTominay play well was probably... well, it was when we bought Casemiro and he couldn't get in the team, so it was September. So we need, yeah, it's a long time. It's a long time since McTominay had a good game. So, and I'm not even talking about an average game. So hopefully today that does happen. Did you know Eriksen has most assists in the Prem for Man United still, even with injury? It's been a bigger miss than people realise. 2-0 win today, says Sam. It's been a massive miss, Christian Eriksen. You know, he's an underrated player. He's an understated player, but he's a fundamental player to the way the team plays. You get the ball off the back four, you give it to Eriksen, he links the play. I can see Ricky now, finger on the VHS, ready to record McTominay in-game highlights to show us later, says Nick P. I tell you what, knowing Ricky, if he wasn't going to the game, as soon as he heard McTominay was starting, he chartered a plane to get there. Definitely. And also, Dean's right. One of our members, Dean Downey, says McTominay might be buzzing after the international break. Well, look, we mentioned that as well. Ten Hag has probably picked a few players I'm surprised about. McTominay, Sabitzer played in the international break. Fred had 2 weeks off. Who's the fresher player? Fred, but he's gone with those momentum players. So it's not always about having a break. Sometimes it's about a bit of momentum, isn't it? And those two players, Sabitzer had a good international break as well. Mark, we should buy Emmanuel from Ghent. He's a future star, says Emlyn. There you go. And Lee Berman, who's also a member, says, Core, this beer is 7%, and I didn't realise. Lee is going to be getting very chatty, I think, then. Charlie Griffiths is a member. He's gone 2-1. And Sadiq's a member. He says, Scott is a useful player who comes off the bench. By the way, if you want to know what I'm talking about, members, if you look in the live chat, anybody with a badge is a member of the channel. If you want to become a member, click the join button. Thanks for being part of the community and supporting the channel. Tyler says, hi Mark, just wondering, what do you think about Arsenal at this moment? Do you want them to win the league? In all seriousness, I love your show. Tyler, I'm sure if you've not seen my channel, That's Football, I speak about Arsenal and other clubs quite a lot on there. I think what Arsenal are doing this season is incredible, and I think it's a bit of a blueprint for Man United under Ten Hag as well. You know, the turnaround can be a lot quicker than you think. Nobody would have put Arsenal in a title race. A lot of people wouldn't have put them in the top 4 at the start of the season, but they have been the best team in the league. They're playing the best football in the league, and if you stop the league today, they deserve to win the league. I am concerned about Man City. I don't want Man City to win the league, but they are capable of winning every single game as they've done before in their last 10, and that's the challenge for Arsenal. But at the moment, they are responding to the challenge fantastically well. What a beautiful day it is in Newcastle, by the way. Blue skies, don't always get that up north. Fantastic stadium, very passionate fan base. They're excited as we are. It's not easy to go away after an international break, by the way, because everyone's buzzing. Spencer says, thank you very much for the super chat, Spencer. He says, just came in, so I don't know if this was discussed, but didn't we already see in the final what happened when Delo played against St Maximum? But Spencer, because you've just come in, you probably didn't realise, Wan-Bissaka's injured. Sorry, Wan-Bissaka's suspended, is ill. So it's Delo or nobody. So we've got to get behind Delo. Please do a show in Bristol, says Isha. Thank you very much for that. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner, the players are coming out onto the pitch right now. We're closing in on 626,000 subscribers. Click the bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand. It's free to do that. We are currently about 500 away, so bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. And don't forget as well, you can download the OneFootball app for free. I'm going to talk about our match stats carousel. That will update by the second. So possession, passes, everything like that. That will be updating by the second. You've then got your teams here. If anyone gets a yellow card, it will go on their shoulder. A goal, it will go on their shoulder. Substitutes come on. They'll have a red little arrow underneath their number. So that's how that works. OneFootball sponsoring our stats carousel. You can download OneFootball for free through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code with your camera phone. But OneFootball is brilliant for all your latest breaking football news, transfer news, but they've also deep dived the stats. So if you want to look at Scott McTominay and see how many sideways passes he's made completed, you can check the players on the OneFootball app as well if you like that sort of thing. So check it out. Links in the description for that. It is the battle of the number 39s as well, isn't it? Who's number 39 for... It's Gomes. It's 36 is Longstaff. I mean, that would have been really odd if Longstaff had been the number 39. But it's Gomes who's the 39 for them, and we've got McTominay. It's the battle of the 39s. There we go. I know which 39 I'd rather have, but we've got what we've got, and we go with what we've got. There we go. Right, we're ready to go here at last. Although I say at last, I'm not. It's been a pleasurable hour. Sometimes you're chatting away and you just can't wait for the game. I can't wait for the game. I've played the game, but I have enjoyed the chat over the last hour. So big shout out to all of you. We are about to start this match now, and Manchester United. Ben's feeling a bit nervous. Can't wait for our new striker McTominay to get a hat trick, says Jordan. Well, I think predictions for Arna Roscommon, Mark, says Arsenal. Got no idea. I think that interesting thoughts on the game today, that I don't feel nervous because I'm excited to have Manchester United back playing, and in addition to that, I think that we don't know how this game's going to go. We just don't know. An international break, you look at somebody like Leicester before the World Cup, they actually were playing quite well. Crystal Palace as well. Come back after the World Cup, and they're absolutely shit. So you don't know how it's going to play out, and we don't know what we're going to be like. And I think sometimes it's difficult to predict, isn't it? How it might play out, how you're going to perform. But we're ready to go. We're ready to go. I'm just trying. I've lost my chat. Right, here we go. We're good to go now. Right, timer, first half. Here we go. Let's get ready to rumble. We're playing the Zebras. Oh, remember that? It's not even the good Longstaff, it's the ginger one. Oh, God, when was that? Was that under Mourinho? I think Steve Bruce was their manager then. Different times, different Newcastle. They know if they beat us today, they go above us. Let's not forget, we're talking about this from a United angle. Of course we are, but they beat us today and they go above us. Got to defend well. Need Rashford to be refreshed. Look, the thing with United is, and I don't want to drop this here, but I will because the game's about to start and then everyone will forget. We sometimes go into a game and we get battered. It happened at Anfield, it happened at Brentford, it happened against Manchester City. So we are capable of putting in a terrible performance. And United at some point, that could happen again. I don't want that to be today. But McTominay's taking the centre circle kick. So I think McTominay's going to play more advanced here. Yeah, he is. McTominay's going to play more advanced. So Sabitza's going to hold, and I think McTominay's going to go more advanced. Definitely. I said that. We said that, didn't we? We said to keep an eye on that. McTominay was absolutely shit as the holding midfielder against Fulham, I'd be stunned if he started as the holding midfielder today. It looks like McTominay is going to be more advanced with Sabitzer in the holding position. Let's go, my captain. Bruno, says Lyle. Well, that's a good thing for me. Box to box McTominay and Bruno playing in the pivot. There we go, straight away. There we go. That's pretty much nailed on. I know we've had less than, well, just over a minute here, but Bruno's tucking into what would be Fred's position, and Sabitzer's playing in the holding midfield position, in the pivot really as a 2. I mean, that, you know, that doesn't necessarily make us strong, but McTominay is definitely the more advanced midfielder here. So maybe there won't be a yellow card for McTominay. And Bruno there, early chance for Newcastle to put a corner in. These are the danger areas for Newcastle when they get a corner. Look at the height. You can see why McTominay's playing. They've got Byrne, they've got Shaw, they've got Botman, they've got Longstaff, they've got Isaac. They're all tall. We don't have that much height. We've got Weghorst, McTominay and Varane, really. If you don't pick McTominay, that's one less player that's not very tall. Right, Anthony here. We're on the break. Go on. Oh, where's he going there? It's too easy for Willock. Just testing to see if this super chat works now, says Yazza. Yep, should do, mate. And it has. Scooby-Doo. Hopefully we'll actually do well in attacking positions if he does give us more options, says Ryan. And hi, Mark. Who is your most underrated player from our current squad right now? Much love and support from Romania, says Patrick. I think we spoke about it. I think Eriksen's massively underrated. Look, just because Scott McTominay scored a few goals as an attacking midfielder for Scotland, international football shite. Like, Bruno's still way better than McTominay as a number 10. Be interesting to see what McTominay can actually do. You know, he's been given the opportunity in a position that's a little bit more advanced. Good ball out by De Gea there. Under pressure. Clip that one up. Nice ball into Rashford as well. Clip that up from De Gea, because that was a lovely ball. Rashford nearly through. Difficult ball back to De Gea. Took a lovely touch and then whacked it down the wing. And United were in. Now Varane across. In on Isaac. And then Martinez is there to cover him. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Good tempo here, good tempo. Good quick movement from back to front there. Like to see that from De Gea. And then the nice ball down the line for Rashford. Come on, Anthony. That's it. Bit of pressure on Dan Burn. That's it. Get the shape. Yeah, you can see the shape there. Rashford, Weghorst, and Anthony. Next line, it's McTominay, and then you've got Bruno and Sabitzer as a pivot. Oh, this is the brilliance of Bruno Fernandes as well, isn't it? You know, he just plays everywhere for the team. Yeah, Anthony ain't going to win a header against Dan Burn, to be fair. Just got home from work. Let's do this. Another 2-0 would be great. It's a Slow Sports News. Welcome to the Members Club, MRR19. And the load as well to win a goal kick. Luke Shaw looks like he's been smashing weights in the gym. He looks huge today. Come on, United. 2-0 wins as Ryan Taylor. Thank you very much for the super chat. So we've had 5 minutes here. The big news, I suppose, is that Scott McTominay is playing as the more advanced midfielder and Bruno is playing as the more withdrawn midfielder. Let's get the stats carousel going round for you so you can see the team and the Newcastle team. That was a Bruno pass into Rashford. Good play here by McTominay. Loses it though. I don't know when Garnacho's going to be back fiery. Martial is on the bench. Martial's on the bench. Here's McTominay. Brushed off the ball, but Sabitzer picks it up. Tried to play it into Weghorst. And That's a nice little ball there. But Varane intelligently out from the back, reads it. Now Sabitzer. Anthony's got a bit of space. Get up against that Dan Burn. He's done well. Into Sabitzer. He's got the space. The cross. Oh, I would have gone for a shot there. Good defending. I think it was Botman. And Martinez is there to sweep up again. The centre-backs are just stepping out from the back and reading the danger. But it's Newcastle again who win it. And United's midfield needs to get back a little bit here. It's with Murphy. And Rashford's back there as well. Good to see that energy getting back from Rashford. Cross comes in. Back post. Oh, good block by Martinez. Sabitzer. United a bit all over the place there. Back post cross to Delo. It wasn't Wan-Bissaka that time. It was Delo who got caught on the cross. And I tell you what, I had a horrible sinking feeling there that we were going to see Newcastle whacking it into the net from 5 yards. But actually, Sabitzer, and I think it was Martinez, got their bodies in the way because that was a really good opportunity. Isaac pulling off to the back post against Delo. We've seen this be a problem for United with Wan-Bissaka. Well, it was a problem for Delo. Heads it down, and it's Martinez who puts the block in, and then it's Sabitzer who gets in there as well, and then Martinez clears it. Good defensive play by Martinez and Sabitzer, but it could have been a big chance that for Newcastle, and it all came from that back post cross where Isaac just peels off and exploits the right back. It's not exclusive to Wan-Bissaka. But a good tempo to the game so far. 7 minutes gone. Looks like it might be a good game. Oh, ref, come on. Sure, that's a foul on Rashford. Martinez gets the header. Weghorst. Yeah, but look, whatever you think about Bruno Fernandes, the ability to drop into a midfield pivot and do a job for the team, which gives us that freedom to put McTominay further forward. It's he's the value to and he's the captain as well. But the value that Bruno Fernandes has. I mean, I go back to that ridiculous comment that Gary Neville still hasn't apologised for, where he said that Bruno Fernandes wanted to come off against Liverpool. De Gea, good save, but he was offside. Yeah, I mean, how irresponsible was that to say to the nation that Bruno Fernandes was asking to come off? He's still not apologised for it. Disgusting. But as if Bruno Fernandes would ever want to come off the pitch anyway. But look, does he strike you as a quitter? He'll play anywhere for this team. He'll drop in anywhere for this team. You have to go to the keeper there, Martinez. Nice ball out, that's it. Scott playing the new Fellaini role, says relaxing Irish farm videos. I'm going to watch some relaxing Irish farm videos now. Sounds very relaxing. We need to settle a bit, says Slow Sports News. Yeah, there we go. McTominay, there we go. I think it's one of those games. It's not. I don't think this. I like these sort of games. It's an energy game, isn't it? It's a bit like Barcelona in the new camp. I don't think it feels like it is going to settle. I think it's got that feeling to it. Oh, that's a bollocks foul. That is. That's a nonsense foul. Martinez fouls Isaac, but doesn't foul him. Well, actually, he did. Actually, he did. Gig says it's a slippy game. It has been a bit. It is a bit slippy out there. Are you going to do Everton Spurs tomorrow? No. I'm doing Chelsea Liverpool on Tuesday and then Man United Brentford on Wednesday. I mean, Newcastle are doing all right. Nice little ball out by Bruno Guimaraes there. Murphy gets it to Trippier. Let's have a look at this back post again. That's yours, Luke Shaw. We've got to be a little bit careful about where's Rashford in this game because I don't want to see Trippier having time like he had there. He's got a lovely cross on him. Do you ever wear a United jersey? What do you think this is? I haven't worn football kits for years. It's an age thing, but I like my hoodies. If you want to get one of these, by the way, you can get it from the United Stand Shopify site. It's our own design. Got loads of other stuff as well. We do ship worldwide. Links in the video description. Or just go United Stand Shopify. Bruno's getting caught out of position, says Daz. Look, we can all tactically analyse the positions of these players, but we know we haven't got Casemiro. And we know that midfield isn't as strong as it could be. And we know that there will be some vulnerabilities to it. If I'm being honest, I'd rather see Bruno and Sabitzer as our holding two than McTominay and Fred. If I'm being honest, in the first 10 minutes, I think the game's passing Scott McTominay by as a number 10. But here's Weghorst, here is McTominay, and easy work for Newcastle there. We're just a little bit slow in the front two positions. You know, Weghorst and McTominay, they're hard workers, but they're not particularly mobile, are they? I mean, maybe Martial could be an option there later on. Atty, thanks for your first super chat. If you want to do that, you can do it through the $sign. Let us know. Weghorst already pissing me off, says Pedro. Ooh, I don't know what happened there, but Weghorst, he's got to go across the goal. He's gone for the front post glitch. Why is he shooting front post there? He's hit the side netting. Let's have a look what happens. Dan Burn. McTominay wins it back, and then it's Anthony. Lovely skill by Anthony. Does really, really well. Lovely play by Anthony. And Weghorst has got to go across the goal there. Why has he gone near post? Scooby-Doo pulling a Fred and shadowing Bruno Guimaraes, says Caleb. Yeah, I think Weghorst has got to do a little bit better there. He's shoot across the goal. He's gone near post glitch. Lovely play by Anthony, though. Give him a bit of a credit there. Nice ball out to Anthony. I'm liking the fact that we're getting Anthony on the ball. Get him up against Dan Burn. Get him up against Dan Burn. We said this before the game. There we go. Rashford picked that up. Yeah, I like that. We spoke about it before the game. Get the ball to Anthony. Get him one-on-one with Dan Burn. And a couple of times we've done that already. We pretty much guarantee that Ten Hag has said that to him as well. Get the ball to Anthony and then get at Dan Burn. And he's done it there. Ref! Book him! Book him! There it is. There's the foul on Anthony. He's flicked it past him. Where's the yellow card? Martinez, best centre-back in the league, says Andrew. Well, he's gone past him and he's pulled him to the ground. Crap ref again. How is he not given a yellow card there? United, says Owain. And Neville full of praise for Bruno Nutmeg, but no acknowledgement of at all for Anthony. Sums Neville up in a nutshell, says Joshua. Do you think Neville's got British bias? I don't know. I don't listen to him. McTominay nearly gets it wide to Anthony. I don't know how that's not a yellow card. He's knocked the ball past him, he's in down the wing, and he's took him out. It's the same as Rodri pulling somebody down yesterday. There's no consistency in the game. There's no consistency in the game. Hi, Mark. Feeling positive about the game. 2-0 win. Bruno, hold on a minute. Cross comes in. Oh, back post, Newcastle. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Bruno is the type of captain that would play anywhere for the team. Tumbleweed, thank you very much. Here is St. Maximin. Close him down. Yeah, I don't know where your confidence about a 2-0 win's coming from. Here's Sabitzer. Oh, bloody Weghorst. Thanks for the content, Mark. How was that not a yellow? Inconsistent refereeing, says Kay. Exactly. 15 minutes gone. That wasn't a yellow on Anthony, says Detta. Well, it wasn't because it wasn't given, but it was very clearly was a yellow card because he took him out. Ball's gone, took him out, yellow card. Should McTominay leave or stay, says Ryan. Let's see how he does today. Cross comes in. Great save, De Gea. Great save, De Gea. Double save. Oh, world class, De Gea. 2 double saves. Shut up if you want to get rid of him, you absolute clowns. Idiots. Oh, I want a keeper who can pass better. What about that? That's what he's in the team for. Did it against bloody Fulham as well. Double super save by De Gea. Brilliant. 2 magnificent super saves. But they're still in the attack here, Newcastle. Super saves by Dave. Bloody hell. Watch this. 2. Oh my God. Second one's a little bit fortuitous, but it looks good. The first one's great with the head, and then the body as well. Quick reactions. Should have been 1-0 down there. Should have been 1-0 down there. That's absolutely fantastic. Now Bruno with a bit of space. We're not creating anything. Terrible pass. Terrible pass. We're not creating anything. Newcastle have had the better chances so far. Not enjoying this McTominay-Weghorst attacking pivot, really. It's too slow. Here's St. Maximin. Somebody just clatter him, for God's sake. We're standing off him. We're terrified. Wow, De Gea there. Couple of fantastic saves. Here it is. Header's good. Reactions. And then the second one, to be fair, it's straight at him, but it's still good goalkeeping. Yeah, the attacks are just crumbling. We've got no outball. I mean, Bruno and Sabitzer are doing their best. And they're both out of position, really. Both of them want to play more attacking. You've got McTominay and Weghorst, who just really, at the moment, not offering anything for us. Here's Bruno. Go on, Bruno. And Anthony. Here we go. Onto your left. Onto your left. No. Too rushed. Rushed it. Rushed it, mate. Had lots of time. Take your time. You're up against Dan Burn. Is it too early to bring Martial on for Weghorst? Well, it is if Martial comes on and gets injured. Ash G says Martial for Weghorst. Ball's not sticking up front. And that was a yellow. It's so annoying, says Ditter. Well, I tell you what, 17 minutes gone. Good game. Good speed to the game. Good tenacity. Good intensity. Good tempo. Probably mean all the same thing. But Newcastle having the better chances. And here's De Gea. That's it. That's what you do, De Gea. Off your line. Boot it out for a throw-in. Lovely. Hey, Benjamin says Newcastle are favourites with the bookies. Look, they've only lost 1 game at home all season. I said a draw would be a good result here. Long way to go, but get closer to bloody St. Maximin. They're terrified of him. We've got to get tighter on St. Maximin. You don't let a tricky player have 5 metres. He's got a sock on his arm. Get closer. You've got to get closer there. He would have been offside anyway. Martinez is playing a good line there. If you're doubling up on someone like Anthony and Delo are there, one of you's got to go tight. Giving him too much space. Way too much space. I'm not going to be too critical about the midfield because Bruno and Sabitzer are basically doing a job for the team. You've got to go... Yeah, free kick. Chris says Bruno doesn't work at an 8. But you know what, Chris? He probably works better at 8 than McTominay would at 8. So, yeah, I'll be looking at Fred. I'll be looking at Fred, but it's the height thing. You take McTominay off and bring Fred on, we've got no height. And it was always going to be a battle about the midfield. Always going to be a battle in the midfield. Take a touch, Anthony. Take a touch. That's it. Oh, come on. That needs to go out. That needs to go out. It's not gone out. St. Maximin's got it on the left-hand side. Get tight! Bloody tight. There we go. Bruno. McTominay, get out of his bloody way. Oh, Bruno, play the simple pass. We've got to start playing the simple pass. Jay, thanks for the super chat. It is a good game to watch, Nell. It's a nervy game to watch. I'd say Newcastle have got a case to say they should be winning here. United looking a little bit like a team that's disjointed, and we are disjointed. You know, that midfield is not what you'd want it to be. I don't like the McTominay and Weghorst 10 and 9 thing. It's like it's like a Spider-Man thing, isn't it, where they're going like that, pointing at each other. Both tall, both slow, and both not able to get on the ball. Rashford's in the graveyard shift. It was always going to be a hard game, but giving away possession so cheaply, says Jay Harris. I think Sabitza's done okay. Again, out of position. Really, Sabitzer wants to be playing with Casemiro. I think the defence have done quite well. They're having to shoulder a lot of the possession. This is good from Anthony. He's getting into Dan Burn. Bit of shithousery, as we said. Bit of a shoulder barge. Get the ball to Anthony. Get the ball to Anthony. Phoenix, a member and a moderator, says, please subscribe and like the video. Yeah, bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're on the road to 626,000. Yakov with the super chat says, Weghorst for Fred would be a good shout. To be honest, he offers nothing in the midfield to getting overrun. And Jiri says, Rashford off ball is so lazy. It's 11 against 10 when we defend. You could put McTominay up front and take Weghorst off. I don't think McTominay at the moment's really working as a number 10, which doesn't surprise me because people think, you know, you score a few goals for Scotland and you can play for Man United in the Premier League. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. But it's still 0-0. This game's about who scores the first goal, innit? Let's be honest. We've just got to be better in the final third. We're not creating enough. There's a lot of the ball with David De Gea at the moment, and I don't like that. Oh dear, dear, dear. We're trying to pass out from the back, and it's tough. Newcastle's pressing game's pretty good. We're getting through the first line of defence. It's going from De Gea to the defence into the midfield, and that's where it's breaking down. We're not able to. I'd say that's Man United in a sentence, really. The ball's breaking down as soon as it goes beyond the midfield. Whether we try to get it to Anthony, Rashford or McTominay, it's breaking down. The quality levels between Martinez and Maguire are so clear. Martinez definitely a shout for Player of the Year, says Jack. We just can't get up the pitch. We can't get up the pitch. I'd rather win the midfield battle than be... Oh, hold up. Than be tall. Fred and Martial would be my subs, says Jack. Scrappy game for United. This game for United is about pride, work rate and energy because United doesn't have the optimal team right now, says Jim. Yeah, we've got to be organised at the back. They can play as well as they want, but if they don't score... This United team looks bad. Newcastle are dominating, says Omi. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. It's ironic you can't get up the pitch because Maguire is important for England building from the back, says Stuart. That's a sentence I'll never understand, no matter how many times I read it. So what are you trying to say? That Maguire should be playing? Yeah. No, thank you. Although Sabitzer is a tidy player and Scott is on momentum, the lack of Casemiro figure is so obvious. Look, Nihal, you're right. There's a massive hole in this team, and it's a Casemiro-typed hole. But we had that hole for 3 years before he came. I mean, look, getting Casemiro into the club was a really good idea, but for 3 years, we didn't have a CDM. And when Casemiro's not fit, we don't have a CDM. So it's a hole that we've got Rashford's fuming here because he's been fouled and the referee said play on, even though he's lost his bloody boot. Linesman's a fucking idiot. It was a clear foul. Hi Mark, did you see McTominay's goals for Scotland? When do you think the board will stop playing solitaire and sort out the future of De Gea and Rashford? Says Tom. Well, they're trying to, I think. Martinez seems to be the only player that's confident on the ball today, says Sam Allen. I'd like to see Martial come on second half. I'm not sure if you followed what happened with Netherlands. Voot just doesn't know how to put the ball in the net. It is what it is. Need Martial on 60 minutes, says Kevin Miller Music. That was a foul on Rashford, by the way. Ten Hag not happy either. Inconsistent refereeing, eh? What a surprise. Anyway, 26 minutes gone. I'd say at this moment, I'm quite happy that United are 0-0. We certainly haven't done enough, apart from that Weghorst chance, which he should have hit across the goal. We've done nothing going forward. And, I mean, look at that. Newcastle have had... Well, let's go back to the stats, actually. Newcastle have had the better of the attacking moments. A double save from De Gea, which was fantastic. They've had 3 shots on target to our 0 and 5 shots overall. It's been a problem for United. It's just not breaking down. We just can't get up the pitch. Can't get up the pitch. What does Weghorst bring to the team? His hold-up play is lacking. His goals non-existent. What am I missing? Says Hannibal. This is the problem we've got. I think we've passed the ball quite well around the back four and Bruno and Sabitzer, but we just can't get the doing. Mark, Gary Neville just said the ref is doing a good job, thought, says Marcus. I think Gary's got a really weird relationship with Man United since Ten Hag came and Solskjaer got the sack. Some of his comments are just odd. Oh, Bruno wants to come off. Referee's doing a good job. I don't get it. I think the referee's had a bad game. That was a foul on Rashford and Burns should have had a yellow card for the foul on Anthony. It's all about opinion, though. Saw you at Cheltenham Races. I was too tired to say hi, says Pacey. No worries, pal. No worries. See, I think we've done quite well here. I think the passing from the midfield and the defence and from the goalkeeper has been good. It's when we go from midfield to attack, it's breaking down every time. We just can't. We're stuck in our own half. We've got to get up the pitch. I thought, oh, come on. I didn't watch the F1 this morning. I wish I had, actually. I think it looked quite good, but it was an early start and I slept in late. United having to do a few fouls here just to reset. Delot on St Maximum. What are your thoughts, everybody, on the game so far? Do you think I've got it right? Are we struggling in that McTominay-Weghorst pivot? Can't get up the pitch? As I say, I think Bruno and Sabitzer are taking one for the team, really. I don't think they're playing amazing, but I don't think they're playing badly. And I think their distribution's been pretty good. It's just breaking down. I mean, that's good from Sabitzer into Anthony. I think Sabitzer's done all right, you know. I do. Please do subscribe. We're only 200 away from 626,000. I think Sabitzer's done all right. Wan-Bissaka can't come on, Ollie. He's on the bench. He's not on the bench. He's ill. But, Mark, the reason why we can't get the ball from the midfield to our attack is because the shadow man, a.k.a. McSauce, is the linchpin, says Yazza. Yeah. He's just hiding in a different area of the pitch, McTominay. Like, whether he's the holding midfielder or he's the... Here we go. We've got to get back now. Newcastle to St Maximum. He's going to shoot. That'll be a corner. I saw Neville skiing in France last week. He was in a very expensive restaurant, says Jeremy. Loaded. And Mark, please excuse the random topic. Would you consider publishing an ebook or audiobook, perhaps on the topic of football entity building? Just Desmond Haunter. I can't say it's anything I've ever considered, to be honest, mate. A draw would be very, very good result considering the gaping hole in the midfield for United, says Jim. Yeah, McTominay hides at CDM and now he's hiding at number 10. It's you got to show for the ball, Scott. You can't play at this level and not want the ball. I thought that was a foul on De Gea there. Well done, Varane. That's a foul on De Gea there. Like De Gea shakes his head. It's a blatant foul. Playing with Weghorst is like having 10 men. I just don't get what he does. Just seems him running around, says James. Look, I've said this a few times about Weghorst. I like Weghorst because he came and did a job for us for nothing in January because the club wouldn't buy anybody. And Weghorst, if we didn't have him, who would we play when Martial's injured? So, look, Weghorst is a body who gives everything and enjoys playing for Man United. He's a limited player, of course he is, but he's an option. So I don't dislike him, but also on the other hand, I also know he's very limited. I can't help but think De Gea looks a bit like the dragon from Neverending Story, says Luke Jones. And Rashford is horrible today. He seems doesn't know what to do, says Adir. And why is Weghorst and Anthony doing these intricate backheels to imaginary men, says Summy. I don't know. Maybe it works in training. Why are we so crap, says Christopher. I think we're just a disjointed team today. We've got a midfield pivot when both of them are better off as number 10s, or certainly in Savitzer's case, box to box. We've got a number 10 who probably shouldn't even play for Man United in Scott McTominay. We've got Weghorst who... Here we go. Come on, back post. Weghorst attack the back post. Bruno. Delo. Oh, that was a chance there. Too lethargic. Should have been sprinting towards the back post here. Look at this. Bruno gets it and Weghorst should be sprinting to the back post. Stretch the space. Which is exactly what Delo does. Mark, I think when the ball goes into McTominay and Weghorst, it keeps breaking down. There is no interlink between them, says Darry. Things can only get better if we can get McTominay on. Martial on. 32 minutes. Don't leave Sabitzer. Get it out, Martinez. My grandma could ref this bloke. It's better than this, says Andrew Appleby. Mark, I'm hanging out at my bottom end on the Sabukas, so I had to smash the dominoes today, says Alistair. Hey, the weekend can be whenever you want it to be, mate. It's a Friday night every night if you want it to be. You're on holiday, Alistair. Enjoy it. Football's back. I'm thinking of going down the pub after this. I said to the missus, let's go down for a couple of pints Sunday night after the match. And she said, oh, I don't know. I don't want to start the week, a bit hazy tomorrow. Little does she know I'm still going to go. I've got to do the football fill-in tomorrow with the big head, Ben Foster. He used to message me every day. Since he's signed for Wrexham, he hasn't replied to my WhatsApp in a week. Oh, he's friends with Ryan Reynolds now. Swimming pool. Goes to their heads. And oh, no! No! Good block. Varane. Good block. I tell you what, Varane and Martinez have played well. Here's McTominay with a bit of space. Come on. Drive with it, lad. Into Rashford. Give him a pass. Give him a pass. That's it. Oh, he's tackled him. Do you get the feeling this could be a smash and grab today, says Guitar? I'd love a bloody smash and grab. I'd love a smash and grab. Can Adam have a shout out from Adam? I've been done there. Adam says, hi Mark, please could my son have a shout out? His name is Adam. You want a shout out, Adam. What pub do you go to? I go to quite a few. The Masons in Solihull's a nice pub. The Farm in Solihull's a nice pub. I was in a bar on Friday night called Skogan in Dorwich, which does like real ales. They do this beer called Fruli, which is beer, but it tastes of strawberry. Just at the end of the night, nice change of a taste. Incoming second half, Ten Hag masterclass, Marcel and Fred for Scott and Voot, says Matt. Look, that's what I mean. Things can only get better. Nice ball into Sabitzer. Oh, the ball was Bruno there, but it's created the space for Rashford. Go on, Rashford, just have a bloody shot. Referee! Have a look and give a penalty, ref. Bruno, it's Bruno. You never know. You never know. You never know. I want a penalty. I want a penalty for this. I don't even know if it was a penalty. Sabitzer gets the ball out to Rashford. Rashford gives it into Bruno. It's not a penalty. He gets the bloody ball. I don't know what Bruno's gone down for here. He's probably hurt himself, but... Oh, I don't know. Bruno kicks the ball first. Bruno's not happy. If you've given a goal kick, you've got to give in a penalty, you dickhead. Oh, fuck off. Absolute idiot. How can you give a goal kick? Oh, my God. How is he not? How? Has he given a goal kick? Which clearly shows that the Newcastle player fouled him. Oh. Absolutely ridiculous. At least give a corner to justify not giving a penalty. Bloody idiots. Well, it has to be a foul. Anywhere else on the pitch, that's a foul. Because if Bruno gets it first and he's late... Oh, fucking hell, I thought that was going in from Longstaff. The minute it goes past De Gea, I'm shitting myself. I can feel it, headbutt in my pants. Watch this. Oh, God, that's close. That is close. When a player hits it like that, De Gea knows. My point is that I thought the Newcastle player got the ball, so that would mean it's a corner. If you're given a goal kick, that proves the point that the Newcastle player didn't get the ball, and therefore he's late and he's caught the player. So if you're given a goal kick, you're justifying your options to give a bloody foul, in which case you can give a penalty. Here's McTominay into Rashford. Cross comes in, headed away. Why every game are we playing against the team acted and two linesmen? It's not fair, says Brian. Go on, Delo's done well there. Oh, lovely play by Anthony. Get on that bloody back post. That's a good cross. Oh, penalty. No, he's never going to get one for that. Good cross by Delo. Good play between Delo and Anthony there. He's done everything right here, Delo. There's no pace in the box, is there? I mean, Weghorst still hasn't got on the end of that cross. What we got? 5 minutes to go to half time. We're only 200 subscribers away from 626,000. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Oh God, it is a 3v2 and it's St. Maximum. Help him out, Varane. Help him out, Varane. St. Maximum against Delo. Cut back. Shit. Oh, he's put it over the bar. Bloody hell. We're living on the edge. We're Aerosmith. Living on the edge. Living on the edge. We're living on the edge here. Bloody hell. Oh, look at that. Isaac does really well. Feeds it to St. Maximum. And I'm like, oh my God. He's going to do something here. It's very good play. Oh my God. I thought that was going to go in. Bloody hell. Newcastle will feel that they could be winning this game. And I've played the game. Good play by Anthony. Here's Varane. Give him a pass. Go on, Anthony. Attack that space. Attack that space. Attack that space. He's got too many players near him. Where you going? Penalty. Handball. Free kick. Corner. We have got a corner here. We've got no chance of scoring a corner. Not against them. Oh, 4 minutes to go to half time. I tell you what, if we get in at 0-0, we've done well. Cross comes in. Anthony! Oh, man! Man! It's a tough technique, but he's got time. It comes to him on the back post, on the volley. And he's got it over the bar. It's tough. It's tough. It's not. To be honest, he's not done too bad with that, really. Better than that Newcastle Pratt, who thankfully is a Pratt because he missed a big chance. Living on the edge. I'm just looking at the individual stats and bloody hell. Here's St Maximum again. Up against Delo. Help him out, help him out! Get rid of it! They wanted a pen. Here's Sabitzer. Bit of possession would be nice. Bruno, lovely ball into Anthony, but they're doubling up on Anthony. Please get McTominay out of this game, says Tammy. I didn't even know he was in it. Scoreline's gone. Shit. Well, they were looking for a bit of a penalty here. No, he's got his hands behind his back. You're never having a penalty for that. You're not having it. I'm sorry. Well, we're approaching half time. I tell you what, I've enjoyed the game. And I think it's probably been a good game for the neutral. But the problem is, the enjoyment element is not coming from us. It's coming from bloody nerves. Offensively, we've not done enough. My mate's just messaged me and said, if Anthony had a right foot, he could be unplayable. And I've just said, McTominay and Weghorst shit. McMissing needs to be subbed off, A11. And Sancho, I forgot about Sancho for Bout. And Rashi on at 9 to run on slow Newcastle defenders, says Thomas. Look, there's things we can do here. We'll talk about it in a minute because it's half time. But there are things we can do. You've got Pellistri, you've got Sancho, you've got Fred, you've got Martial. There are options on that bench. And I personally think that De Gea, the back four, and Sabitzer have played well. I think Bruno's just literally doing a job. Anthony's done okay as well. But I think defensively we've done a good job, considering that literally it's trying to... Every time the midfield pass it forward, they're hitting a brick wall and it's coming back. There's nothing going on. So it's really a lot of defensive concentration. And I think defensively, we've done all right. Especially, I mean, Delot's struggling against that. McTominay for Martial, Veghorst on at 10, says Addy. We could have been 3-0 down. We could have been 3-0 down. I'm not gonna lie. I think Sabitz has had a good game. I don't know what anyone else thinks. In the circumstances, playing out of position, I think he's done all right. Yeah, the camera's even gone to Fred. But look, 0-0 at half-time. You'll take that, the way the game's gone. Abdul says that Sabitz has done well. Thanks for being a member, Abdul. I can see your badge there as well. And that is half-time for Manchester United. Get your thoughts in. Let us know what you're thinking. I think for me, the most obvious thing is to stop the clock first. The most obvious thing for me to say is that De Gea's made 2 fantastic saves. I think the defence has played well, especially the centre-backs. I think Sabitz has done a good job. I think Bruno's done okay. And then the front 4, Anthony's been the pick. Rashford's not in the game enough. Scott McTominay may as well be sat on the bench, and Veghorst is Veghorst. It's the amount of times we've seen, and look, this is what's going to happen. I think De Gea's distribution, the back four's distribution, Sabitz's distribution has all been good. Bruno's has been okay, but the minute you knock it into McTominay or Rashford or Veghorst or Anthony, it's just breaking down, and Newcastle come again. So it's very much defence against attack at the moment, and we've got to change that pattern because they've had chances. They've had 2 where they've kicked it over the bar. There's been a couple of blocks. There's been a couple of good saves from David De Gea. Newcastle will be going in at half-time, and they will be saying to themselves, how are we not winning that game? Maybe not 3 or 4-0, but how are we not winning that game? Look at it statistically left to my right. They've had, possession-wise, is about 50%. We've done well to keep it at that, considering we can't keep the ball up front. But they've had 11 shots, and we've had 2. That, to me, needs clipping. There's my arrow. Get my face in it as well. I can't do it. It's hurting my neck. 11 shots to our 2. 3 shots on target to our 0. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. So for all the hard work that our defence has done, and De Gea has done, and Sabitzer is doing, they're being let down. And you know why they're being let down? And I'm going to give it you blunt right now. They're being let down because we already know that Veghorst ain't good enough, but we love Veghorst because he puts in an effort. But Scott McTominay at number 10 ain't bloody working either. They're like the same thing. They're like 2 bags of cement up front. You can't have that. Now, we can't play McTominay in a pivot. He'll get overrun. He's crap. And look, scoring goals for Scotland is not the same as playing number 10 for Manchester United. It's not working. So I look at the bench and I go, look, you can't keep McTominay and Veghorst on because they're tall. If they get a corner and score from a corner, they get a corner and they score from a corner. But we're going to lose the game anyway. So McTominay needs to come off. You could put Bruno there and bring Fred on. You could keep Bruno where he is and you could bring Sancho on. And Veghorst needs to come off for Martial. So we've got 3 big options there. You can get Sancho on at 10, you can bring Fred on and put Bruno at 10, and you can bring Martial on for Veghorst. And those changes have got to happen because there's nothing worse that can happen than what it is. Even if Sancho comes on, or Fred comes on, or Martial comes on and they're crap, it's no worse than what we're doing. So we've got to make those changes. Do you think we'll keep Veghorst as Cameron? I hope not. I'm getting to the point where I hope not. I like the lad, but I don't think he offers anything really, does he? He offers hard work. And that's not talent. McTominay hiding as usual when playing for United, says Sir Marcus. McTominay always ghosts in games. Why is he even playing as a 10? Bring on Martial and Fred for Veghorst and McTominay, says Abhishek. Mark, Rashford has gone missing, and personally I think McTominay should stay in for height and Veghorst out for Martial, says Marcus Brown. You could try McTominay at front and then put Veghorst off, but one of them's got to come off. George, the last couple of games, we've only just got through games. Do you think we should mix the striker up? Maybe Rashford down the middle, says George. Look, I think anything's worth trying at the moment, George. Fred on for McTominay is a must. Our midfield is non-existent, and I don't understand McTominay at 10, says Sultan. And Mark, would you still be interested in João Felix over the summer? I think he's a fantastic player, Matt. It's not necessarily working out for him there. But look, what we've got to do is the ball from the goalkeeper to the defence to Sabitzer and Bruno is okay. It's breaking down with that ball from midfield to attack. So straight away, you need a number 10. Whether it's, Eriksen can do this job, Bruno can do this job, Sabitzer can do this job. But you need somebody that takes the ball from Sabitzer or Bruno and keeps it. And it's going into McTominay, and it's not even, actually, how many times is it going into McTominay? Because he's bloody hiding. You can't even accuse him of the ball breaking down because he's just nowhere to be seen again. He's hiding behind their number 6. So it's going into Rashford, it's going into Anthony, it's going into Weghorst, and it's not holding up. You've got to get somebody who can play in between the lines of the midfield and the attack to knit the play. So, yeah, we've got to make a change. Is Bruno doing enough in that pivot that Fred couldn't do it? I think Fred can do it. I personally would get Fred on for Bruno and put Bruno up where McTominay is. And I think we'd at least get up the pitch a bit. We can't... How many times have we been in their half and had a bit of possession? We just can't keep possession in the final third. Thank God we've held out this long. We need to have a bite in the second half desperately. Martial on now, says Neng. We need to switch from man-to-man marking to zone marking. Man-to-man marking is obviously not working, says Manoj. We're so lucky we didn't concede in the first half. We need to change it up in the second half, says A1. And we're not playing good football again, says Ray, Carl, Brown, Amori. Mark, great content. Let's have some faith in our team. This is our time. Okay, you've been blocked. There we go. And I'll pass that. Thanks for super chatting as well, because we'll be reporting that, you racist. And why is McTominay ahead of Sabitzer for number 10 already? I'd put him on, or even the energy of Fred. Scotty's used. Don't get me started on Weghorst, says Aram. And Eric Ten Hag, he will be given big transfer backing this summer regardless of who owns the club, says Elite. Well, that's not going to help us now, is it? That half was on Ten Hag. We were terrible, and it's because of his decisions. I love Eric, but we can't trust McTominay. He's a ghost, says Sultan. I would say that we are very, very, very lucky to not be 1-0 down. And that's taking nothing away from De Gea in the defence, because they have played well. But Newcastle had the opportunities there to score, and they know it, and they haven't scored. And if they score first, we're in big trouble. What have we done? Well, look at the stats. We haven't even had a shot on target. So if they score, we're done. He's got to change it. If they should be 1-0 up. So he's got to change it. Really, it should be 1-0 and he's got to change it. It's 0-0. You've still got to change it. He's got to change it. If they score first, we're in big, big, big trouble because we're not doing anything. So he's got to change it. He's got to make us more offensive. And there's absolutely no doubt at the moment that Newcastle have been the better attacking side. So, he's got to change it. Eric Ten Hag has overthought this midfield setup with Bruno deep and McTominay the furthest forward. He's got this wrong, says HW. Newcastle at their best and it's 0-0. They don't get better than that. We do. Big changes needed, though, from Ten Hag, says Den Watson. Forgive me if this is whack. It's 2:30. Fred at 10, not winning in their air anyway. Keeps pressing energy. Look, might work, Allah. Might work. Is this the third position Eric Ten Hag has tried McTominay and it's not worked? The experiment is over. He needs to not play again, says Stephen. And I've seen these type of games where one team controls the entire game, then we go on and pull something out of our bag. Yeah, I hope so, Kevin. I'm hoping for that. United very poor. Anthony not getting good enough. Weghorst offers nothing, says Nasha. I actually think Anthony's played well. I mean, look, he is a flair player, so they are quite frustrating. But I think Anthony's done quite well. But I do agree. I do agree with what people are saying about the McTominay situation. I don't get it. I don't get the fascination with it. And I think I love Eric Ten Hag, and I think he's a fantastic coach. But if we were 2 or 3-0 down at half time, well, 3-0 is a bit much. But if we were 2-0 down, would you be that surprised? They've had a few chances. If we were 2-0 down, we'd be going mad about what he's done with that midfield. So I think he has overthinked it, and I think that I just don't think McTominay's good enough. I really don't. I get him off. I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United. I want him to be. I think he's better going forward. But look, you look at the goals that he scores, and correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of the goals McTominay scores are arriving late into the box to pass it in. Is that what we need? If he arrives late in the second half and we win 1-0, well done. But I'll still remember the first half where he can't get on the ball, he can't link up the play. You know, arriving late on in the box and scoring a goal is a great skill to have, but we need a lot more than that. We need a lot more than that. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only 100 away from 626,000. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Delo's getting destroyed by St Maximin. We can't get Wan-Bissaka on Jay, but he's ill. Yeah, he's not. For one, he's not even on the bench. But even if you give him a bit of night nurse, he's still not going to come on. He's not well. Don't think old J-boy thinks, you know, give him a bloody Lemsip and he's going to be fine. I don't think Fred will come on till the 65th or 70th minute, since he's our only midfield option. But keeping McTominay on not that long is a risk, says Robel. Hi Mark, great content as always. I've been watching for a long time. Quick one, would you consider a quick half-time player rating? Might be interesting, says Justin. I'll do it for you now, mate. I'll do it for you now. It's a first. You know, we can do it now. I quite like the idea, actually. So let's do a quick player ratings based on United's team for the first half. David De Gea in goal, I'd probably give him a 7.5. I think he's played really, really well. Delo, probably a 6.5. I know he's had a hard time against St Maximin, but he's having to do it on his own, and I think he's got forward quite well. Varane and Martinez, 7. I think they've both done well. Luke Shaw, probably 6.5 as well. Sabitzer, 6.5. Bruno, 6. Rashford, 5.5. Bruno, 6. Anthony, 6.5. McTominay, 5. And Weghorst, 5. You know, I think Rashford's been a bit disappointing. I think Bruno's been average. I think Sabitzer's been better than average. And I think Anthony's been better than average. So that's what I would do. Who would be your choice? Who would be your choice CDM in the summer, says Tyler? Look, I like Coney from France. I like Casido from Brighton. I want somebody who can. I want a modern CDM. I want somebody who can play CDM but can also play number 8. Because if Casemiro's fit, I don't want him to sit on the bench. If Martial comes on and scores the winner, Ricky should be knighted, says James Clough. And I'm sorry, but McTominay needs to be sold. He's invisible, says Eiley. I mean, he's just not in the game, is he? But you know what? Leader says, I'm a Newcastle fan and I hope we steer clear of McTominay. He's terrible. Wouldn't it surprise you if at some point in the game a cross comes in, it deflects off someone right into the path to McTominay to pass it in the bottom corner and we win 1-0 and everyone's going, what a player McTominay is. I mean, it's just not good enough, is it? If you're going to play in the midfield for a top 4 club, you can't be a moments player. You can't just have one bit of skill. We need a lot more than that. And I'd make the changes. As I say, the changes I would make at half time, because if I'm Eric Ten Hag, I'm saying to my assistant coach, I'm saying we should be 1-0 down. We're only not 1-0 down because of bad finishing and great saves by De Gea and blocks. We should be 1-0 down. We've not had a shot on target and they've had loads of chances. We should be 1-0 down. I've got to make changes because this is a false score at the moment. We've been a bit lucky. I've got to make the changes now. That's what I'd be thinking in my head, because we don't normally start the second half well. Look at Anfield. We were drawing it with them at Anfield, weren't we? I think at half time. So we've got to go out there and we've got to make changes, because if we can't change them, I don't know how that team's going to change the momentum of the game. If you're Eddie Howe, you're probably angry and saying, even though you know it's been a good half, you'll be angry saying we should be winning. Go out there and get the goals. So they're going to be at it even more. Sancho and Martial in for Weghorst and McTominay, says Stev. And Alvin's just gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Alvin. You're a legend. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Second half's about to start. I said a draw in the preview. I'd take a draw right now. We've played a lot worse than I thought possible. Thank God for the defence again. I think this season, although we have conceded a lot, we tend to concede them in a group. Like Man City, we conceded, what was it, 6 against City, 7 against Liverpool, 4 against Brentford. But no, I think Anthony's done all right. I just think that with Anthony, it's just some people don't like him. I heard people saying Gary Neville doesn't like him. Fortunately, I don't have to listen to Gary Neville because we've got our own thing going on. But I think Anthony, for a flair player, has had 3 or 4 moments of flair where he's done all right. Honestly, we need midfielder who can control midfield and not someone who can score occasional goals and can't keep the ball most of the time, says Nicholas. Will Kante from Chelsea be a good option, says Samir? No. When do we get Casemiro back? Says Ruben. Not yet. Not till after the Everton game. Sancho or Martial in Voot. We need a quick striker who has pace because of the height of defender. Voot is not working, says Yadrif. There's no movement in the front three. Manchester Evening News gave both Sabitzer and McTominay a 5, says Stephen. It's all about opinion, but because it's about opinion, I can slag that opinion off and say they've never played the bloody game in their life. They've never watched the game. I've played the game. Sabitzer's played well. He's playing out of position. He's playing as the CDM. He's linked up the play. I think Sabitzer's done well. How you can put McTominay and Sabitzer on the same score at half-time, that's sack-worthy. I tell you what, if the Manchester Evening News head office are listening, someone in your organisation needs sacking. They're typing shit. Absolute shit. Honestly, we need midfielder. We've got that one from Nicholas. And also, Aram with the super chat, thank you. He says, I'd rather we went back to trying Rashford up front and playing Sancho or Bruno on the wing with Anthony instead of Weghorst. He's so ineffective. He started every game too, so you can't say he's not got a chance. Aram, I quite like the idea of putting Rashford up front. No changes at half-time. McTominay's coming out for the second half. Very lucky. Very, very lucky. I can't believe he's not made a change at half-time. Very, very lucky. No changes. Mark, what is it with these kids hating on Delo? Delo's a better player than Wan-Bissaka. It's shocking he can only slide tackles as DNA. Yeah, you're opening yourself up there, mate. You're opening yourself up there. Right, second half. No changes. Bit of a surprise. It's risky. Ten Hag, though, has proved time and time again that he is the man. I don't know what I did there. Oh, I went to FIFA. I need to get the second half timer ready. There it is. Playing with 9 men in the second half, someone just said there. Well, I don't. It's either going to be a genius move by Ten Hag, or we're not going to change the way this game's going. We've had no shots on goal, and he's not changed the team. It's a risk. Why did we not buy Isaac? He looks so good and he is young, says Willie. I think they paid quite a lot of money for Isaac, didn't they? I don't think it was ever a consideration for Manchester United, to be honest. A lot of people not happy with the subs. No, the lack of subs. Well, as I say, we've had no shots on target at all. I mean, the league table looks quite good if it stays like this. It looks very bad if Newcastle find the goal they probably deserve. They would go above us and we would drop to 4th. That's not a foul. We need to win this. Top 4 is in threat, says Christopher. Thanks for the super chat, pal. These are the games we really miss Ericsson, says James Clough. Oh, mate. Ericsson would change this game because he's got the ability to actually pass the ball and keep it. I mean, you could put Ericsson where Bruno is and Bruno where McTominay is and the game would change instantly. I mean, this is the problem. We've just got nobody to pass up to after the midfield. It's a dangerous position, you know, because Trippier can curl this right on top of De Gea. Could be a dangerous position, this. And we've seen it before with United, starting the second half badly. It's a tough one for De Gea, this, because is he going to cross it? Or he might even whip it in. Yeah, that's all right. Gone for a goal kick. Oh, I can smell bacon sandwiches, and I know I'm not having one. What's going on? 5:30. What we got? 45 minutes. Well, the Newcastle player's gone down here because he's headed it the wrong way. There's Martial and Sancho. I mean, that picture in itself of Sancho and Martial, it does mess with your head a little bit when you've got McTominay at 10 and Weghorst up front, and then you've got Sancho and Martial on the bench. Ponder that one for a few seconds while we've got this injury break. You got Jadon Sancho and Anthony Martial sat on the bench, And on the pitch, you've got Scott McTominay and Weghorst as your 10 and your 9. There's obviously reasons for it, but it's still like, if I was the coach, I'd be doing everything in my power to get those two as the 10 and 9 and not those two. But look, it is what it is. It's tactically height, John. I agree. I think it's all about height. I love fillet of fish from McDonald's, says Taylor. I don't think I've ever had a fillet of fish from McDonald's. I've never had it. Quiet game for Rashford. Yeah. Quacko says, what are the reasons? Well, Martial's not been fit for about a year, has he? And Sancho's coming back from his own issues, so... Yeah, Rashford's had a quiet game. We could have one of the, we could do one of those quiet Rashford games where he just scores a worldie. I don't know why Weghorst is standing offside here. You can be offside from a forward pass, you know. He seems to be trying to get the line higher, doesn't he? I mean, that's an education in itself. The Newcastle centre-backs are leaving Weghorst 10 metres offside because they want to play a high line because they're not scared of his pace. Here's Bruno. Oh, he's overrun it. Weghorst has had 7 touches apparently. Well, One Football sponsor our stats carousel, which will give you all the stats on the live table and possession and everything like that. But you can scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. You can download the One Football app for free. And within there, not only do you get all your latest football news and transfer news, but it also individualises the stats as well. You can see how many touches and passes everybody's played. So check that out, download it for free and have a look. Same thing with Maguire and Lindelof at the start of the season. He gives people a chance before dropping them. Martial will come in and will stay there, says Ash G. Well, if he can stay fit, Ash. Oh, Delo, lovely ball into Sabitzer. He needs some help, though. I mean, how can you give Sabitzer a 5? I think Sabitzer's done well. He took that ball down lovely from Delo as well. Martial's warming up. Let's hope he doesn't get injured. That's the ball. That's the ball. Rashford, come on. Mark, do you think Rashford is a moments player, says Low? I think that's a bit unfair to call Rashford a moments player. He's a moments player in a game like this when we're not attacking. Sometimes you've got to be a moments player because you're not attacking. So yeah, he's a moments player in a game like this. I think if you're playing at home against someone like a Southampton, he's not a moments player. You'd expect him to get a lot of the ball, but in a game like this, you've got to be a moments player. I mean, he sometimes is a moments player as well. Here we go, Newcastle on the edge of the box. It's looking like they've swapped Bruno and Scott. I think we still need to bring on Sancho and Martial. We need more from Anthony in the second half, says Marco. B2, thank you very much for the Members Club. I'll have a look at that. Welcome to the Members Club, B2. I'll have a look at that. I mean, Sabitzer's playing further forward now. It looks more like we've swapped McTominay and Sabitzer, actually. So, yeah, it looks like there is a change in the way that we're playing the midfield. Obviously, McTominay didn't work as a 10. Yeah, you're right. Albie Scotty has noticed that as well. McTominay's dropped into the Sabitzer role and Sabitzer's gone to 10. I'd keep Sabitzer in the summer over another centre midfielder, to be fair, says Fabo. Well, it depends what you're talking about. I mean, I'd take De Jong. Good play by Martinez there, under pressure. Hi, Mark. What advice would you give to your younger self, says Marcus. How young? How young are you going? I've got no regrets. They don't work. Nick says, not getting the Anthony hate has been decent and done more than Rashley this game. No, I've been quite happy with Anthony today. I mean, considering we've had no bloody shots on goal, I think he's done all right. Delo's scared, says D16. Look, yeah, I don't think St Maximin's a very difficult player to play against because he's so unpredictable. I don't think he knows what he's going to do when he gets the ball, so it's very hard to defend. Yeah, McTominay's gone deeper now. I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. I think he'll probably perform better, McTominay, in a defensive position more than he will as an attacker. Man United need to sign world-class striker next season, says Valla. I don't think he thinks he can take McTominay off just for the height. I mean, he's obviously not happy with him in the number 10, so he's moved him, but not a lot of changing. Not a lot's changing at the moment. It's still, you know, it's not domination attack from Newcastle, but it's definitely more attack Newcastle than it is us. Oh, watch out. Well done. Well done. Martial's going to come on at some point. It's just what point? Again, it just breaks down, and Newcastle are on the attack again. Well done, Bruno. Right, McTominay, play the pass. Play the pass. That's all right. Keep the possession. That's fine. Oh, that's a terrible ball by Anthony, though. Just can't keep the. You know, it's one thing we've not been able to get up the pitch, but there has been some bad passing today as well, where we needlessly are giving the possession away. And if you're a defender, you'll be crying because you'll be like, God, I'm working my bloody arse off, and then you're misplacing passes. Fewest touches on the pitch, Wout Weghorst, 7. Second fewest, Nick Pope, 15. He's just not doing anything, is he? Well done, Delo. Well done, Delo. He took us out of danger there. Well done, Delo. Lovely play. Now Luke Shaw. Go on, attack the space, Luke. Rashford, make an invert. That's it. Here we go. It's not great. Here's Rashford, though. He's got a bit of space. Into Luke Shaw. Wanted to cross it first time. Into Bruno. Little dink to Anthony. Go on, have him. Have him. No, that shot's not on. That's not on, mate. Too far out. Too far out. At least it's a shot on target, though. That's our first shot on target. 55 minutes. Effectively, it's a back pass, but they all count statistically. Martinez has tried to come out from the back there, but he's going to lose his man. And he wins the ball off St Maximin. Well done. 56. We need to get the subs on, says Marvin. Oh, yeah. No doubts about that, mate. No doubts about that. Mark, if one game has shown the lack of depth in midfield for sure, where we need a ruthless summer and get rid of McTominay average, it's this one, says James. Well, yes, James, and I think we already know it anyway, don't we? You know, games are won and lost in the midfield. Newcastle have had more momentum because they've had a better midfield. Trippier shoots from distance. Oh, it's Shah who shoots from distance there. Yeah, games are won and lost in the midfield, and we're struggling today. We'll struggle against Brentford, though. I mean, if I was Brentford, I'd be looking at this and going, you know what? What? Newcastle are a good side, and we're playing away from home, but Brentford at home on Wednesday night doesn't necessarily get any easier. We're still going to struggle in that midfield area. What happened to high possession, pressing, and playing on the front foot? I feel we're getting worse every game. This is boring, says Sean. It's hard to play high line, high possession, high press football with this set of players. You need the right players to do it. You know, for first of all, you need to be able to play with one holding midfielder, which we just can't do when we haven't got Casemiro. Come on, McTominay into Weghorst. He's going to lose that. He's fucking rubbish. It's like watching Peter Crouch drunk. He never looked like he was going to play a pass there, did he? Hi, Mark. I know it's not that's football, but who will have a better season next year, Chelsea or Liverpool, says Gary. Well, it's very hard to say. It's a good question, but it's very hard to say. Will Potter still be there? Will Klopp still be there? What will the financials be? Corner. I think Sancho's going to come on. And Martial. We've got to make these changes. It's got to make it better. Sancho and Martial time. Here we go. It's about time. It's the right subs to make. Come on. Come on. Things can only get better. I think Ten Hag saw that run from Weghorst and went, get him off. Although we've got a corner here. We've gone short. Bruno into Sabitzer. Oh, well. Oh, Martinez was half-heartedly asking for a handball, but I don't think we're going to get it. So who comes on for who? I mean, hopefully. I think he'll keep McTominay on. I think Weghorst definitely comes on, but I think he'll keep McTominay on. I can see. I don't know. Well, Martial's going to come on for Weghorst. I don't know who Sancho's going to come on for. Probably Sabitzer, which I don't necessarily agree with. Lovely ball out to Anthony. Go on, you've got him there. Lovely play into Delo. Oh, bad pass though. Bad pass. Oh, apparently Anthony's coming off. Oh, good tackle by McTominay there. Right, here we go. Anthony, you're coming off, mate, so do something. No, he's got to go direct there. Sabitzer. Come on, come on, come on. Bruno. No. Go wide, go wide, go wide. Here's Bruno. Oh. Sabitzer didn't know that he was trying to play it to Weghorst. I agree, Finley. I think McTominay will stay on. That's a foul. Here we go. Martial and Sancho. 21 for 25. So, yeah, it is Anthony coming off. He's not happy. Yeah, he's not happy, Anthony. I don't think Anthony's played that bad. I really don't. You can understand his frustration, but he's never going to take Rashford off. Weghorst is off for Martial. Yeah, that's definitely the right sub. Sancho for Anthony. I think it's you're a victim of. You're a victim of the fact that Marcus Rashford can pull something out of nothing. They're going to bring Anthony Gordon on and Joel Linton on. And Callum Wilson on. So 3 big changes for Newcastle as well. So interesting here. It should change the dynamic now. We should be able to get hold of the ball up front. We should push their defence back. They were playing a ridiculously high line. It should get better. If and only if West Ham get relegated, can you see Rice pushing a move for a lower price? Also, don't feed Weghorst and hope for a rebound, says Slow Sports News. Well, I don't think West Ham will get relegated, but if they did get relegated, they'd have to go for a little price anyway. Mark, my team just won the double, under 13. Well done, Patrick. And can't believe my eyes how bad we are. Just one player missing and we go to bottom half performances. Tusher. Newcastle subs are scary, says Danielle. I'd take the final whistle now. I'm hoping that with Martial and Sancho on, we get further up the pitch. But I'll be honest with you, based on that first half, I'd blow the whistle and take a point. We're still in third place. It's not a bad point for us. Newcastle don't lose many games at home. In fact, they've only lost one. So we need some right-footed crosses, says Ramiro. But look, we're all nervously keeping an eye on Anthony Martial now. How long will he last? Do I rate Anthony, Mason? I personally think that Anthony had a decent game. Not amazing, but certainly not as bad as some people think. There's still a lot to do, but there's a lot to do for Sancho. I like both players, but I think Anthony's a little bit unlucky to come off, but he's still a work in progress. It's the right sub, Mark. Sancho's passing is better. He should be able to keep the ball better and keep it flowing, says Diary. And Martial top scorer in the Premier League by the end of this game. What are your thoughts, Mark? Oh yeah, he's going to score what? 30 goals? Rashford's been, Rashford's on the pitch because of what he's done this season, not what he's done in this game. Rashford's had a really quiet game, is the polite way of putting it. But it's that knowledge, and quite right knowledge, that McTominay's just lost it in a stupid area. It's that knowledge that he can bring something out of nothing. Oh, I just hope Martial can hold up, I'd still be thinking about getting Fred on. Oh, that's a good ball. Cross to the back post. They're queuing up. Goal. Fucking hell. Willock scores. Oh, dear me. And it's that back post cross again, isn't it? You could see it being hung up. And I don't know where anybody is here. I mean, look, I don't know where anybody is here. But there's not a lot you can say about the centre-backs or the goalkeeper. They're not stopping this. But that cross to the back post, they're queuing up. I don't know where Delo is. I don't know whether Sancho's meant to be there. I mean, if I'm being honest, it all comes from McTominay fucking around on the edge of the box and we never clear it properly. But there's no danger here. There's no danger at all. Yeah, I mean, Delo's dealing with 3 players. I don't know how they end up in this position, but Delo's dealing with 3 players here. He's got 3 players to mark. Where's McTominay? Where's Sancho? I don't know. Absolutely just fell asleep on the back post again. And you can blame Delo because he's the right back, but he's got 3 players to mark there. I don't know where anybody is. There's 3 players to mark. That's just a joke. That's a joke. Fucking rubbish. What can you do? What can you do? On the first half, they deserve it. We're in trouble now. We're in trouble now. We've not really created a decent chance in 66 minutes. He's made the subs. Fucking McTominay. He's a fucking waste of space. Doesn't clear it in the first phase, and then he's nowhere. He can't clear it from the edge of the box. And then the cross comes in and he's not even on the edge of the box anymore. Delo's got 3 players to mark on the back post. Well, I'm sorry. That's the right-sided centre midfielder and the right-sided midfielder. Where the fuck are they? Fucking hell. Oh, bloody hell. I don't know what to say. 100% deserved, and I'm telling you, top four will be hard, says Jim. Look, I can't deny that. There's not an injustice here. There's not like a penalty decision or a bad refereeing decision. Newcastle should have been 1-0 up at half-time. Arguably should have been 2-0 up. So 1-0 after 70 minutes, based on what we've done in this game, you can't argue with it. It's the frustration of how shit some of our players are and why they're still on the pitch. I just don't know why Scott McTominay gets picked for Manchester United. He was crap at number 10 and basically made us unbelievably shit in the first half. We move him to centre midfielder again and he costs us a fucking goal. It's just, get him off the pitch. Why can't you play Fred? Just because if McTominay was 5'8", he'd be playing in the National League. He's stealing a living because he's over 6 foot. It's the only reason he's on the pitch is because he's tall. And then a cross comes in and he's not there anyway. So how is it beneficial that he's tall? And Sancho's just come on the pitch and he's not fucking defending. Such a crap goal to concede as well. How is Delo left 3-on-1? Game over, says Robin. It's going to be bloody tough, Robin, now. Really tough. Pelistri on, Sancho to 10 and McTominay off. Has to be, says Darry. Okay, we're going to keep him on because he's fucking tall. He's tall, lads. He's tall, ladies. He's tall. Keep him on because he's tall. We're losing 1-0. Get him off. Agent Arsenal Willocks is saying, I've been done with McMayo since the Ollie saga. This sentimentality with regards to a failed academy product needs to go out the window, says Summy. International break stops our good form, says Darren. This was always going to be a tough game, though. Newcastle are a good side. It's at their place. We're always going to find this tough, but we've struggled today. We've really struggled today. I said it, didn't I? I said it at 0-0. I said at 0-0, I would have happily took 0-0 at 0-0. Right, here's Sabitzer with a bit of time. Come on. Interesting ball to Martial. He will get there. He will get there. As a look. Oh, there's not a lot going on now. Sancho, fucking rubbish. Come on, United. Just find a chance. We've not really had a chance all game. Find a chance, get a point. Take your time, take your time. Come on. Good play by Martinez there. Come on. We're surely gonna get chances because what's Bruno doing there? What are you doing, Bruno? How is this turned into a Newcastle attack? Fucking hell, he just dithers on the ball. That midfield's crap today. Absolutely crap. What's wrong with Fred? He must be ill. I can't understand why Fred's not playing. Switch it. Well done, Martial. Give it him back. Give it him back. That's it. Come on, Delo. Come on, Delo. Sabitzer. Oh, penalty. No. Blocked. As it stands, we're in 4th place. You should see it on the league table as it goes round. According to Ricky, who needs Casemiro when we have McTominay masterclass like today, says Joel. Every time Rashford is moved to the right, I want to throw up, says Ty. And unfortunately, this was coming. We've been conceding goals first. Weghorst is nowhere near good enough. I know he's a stopgap, but McTominay is shocking, says PJ. Well, I think there must be something wrong with Fred. I don't think any manager in the world could do more than what Ten Hag has done in this game. The game was going to be tough without Casemiro, says Jim. I just question the Fred thing. I don't understand why Fred's not been used. Like, the midfield is really struggling, and we know that Fred, for all his inconsistency, if you catch him on a good day, he makes a big difference. Lovely play by Martial. Love him to stay fit. I can't believe Anthony is a flop and Sancho is not, says Faris. Well done, Martinez. Luke Shaw's been a bit sloppy today as well. This is what happens when you go and train with Southgate. Fred's not come on because he's small, says Brian. Here's McTominay. Come on. Did well. Put a cross in. Come on. Fred, McTominay has a brace versus Spain and everyone thinks he's God's greatest gift to sport. Disgraceful performance. Not the only one underperforming though. Says if he's just put a good cross in there. Ten Hag should have changed things earlier if we're being honest. Veghorst, this is very worrying regarding our top four hopes. Toothless today, says Alex. "74 minutes. Oh, McTominay might be injured here. Don't risk it. Come off. Come off. No, don't risk it. Get off. Ten Hag has been poor this match, says Tennant. McTominay needs to come off to Eric. He might be injured. That's your excuse. Oh, Varane with the header on the back post, but no one's there. Eric, get him off. Get McTominay off. Here's Gordon up against Martinez. Give him some help. Well done, Delo. Corner. It's exhausting watching games like this because we've done nothing on the attack. Player ratings, mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We'll whack the link in the video description for you. It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? I think defensively we've done okay, but offensively it's been offensive and not in a good way. Not the sort of game you want to be dropping points. Pathetic performance we never learned, says Whisper. My God, they've just hit the bar. They've just hit the bar. I don't know what happened there. And United break. Rashford into Shaw. Cross comes in. Oh, didn't come to Rashford. I thought that was in for Newcastle. I thought it was over the line. It's not over the line. It's not over the line. Oh, I don't know how this happens here. Cross comes in. It's all over the place. De Gea has to turn. Tips it onto the bar. Great save by De Gea. Onto the bar. It wasn't over the line. And then it's off the line as well. That's a big save by David De Gea, that is. I mean, you can ask questions about whether he should have come for it anyway. And then they hit the post. Joel Linton, big save by De Gea. And then they follow it up with one onto the post. Very lucky. I mean, look, you got to be honest. Newcastle deserved to win this game. Like, it would be a smash and grab draw if we managed to get a draw, because the better team has been Newcastle by a very long way. They should have won it. They should have had it won by now. Another cracking save by De Gea, but people are saying it should be a penalty. I don't think it should be a penalty. We've been lacking focus after the Carabao Cup win, says Varane. I'm just watching this Willett goal again. I mean, where the bloody hell is Scott McTominay in this picture? I still don't know where he is. Fucking joke. I'd take a draw right now, says Nishant. Mate, I'd happily take a draw. I'd snap your hands off. We've had another injury stoppage here. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. We're nearly at 626,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're only 10 away. So please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Live every night at 8 o'clock. Every morning at 10 o'clock. United stand. I've had a super chat here from... Ghazi, to be honest, even in Sir Alex Ferguson's days, we struggled at St James's Park. Yeah, I mean, look, anybody can take a loss. Anybody can take a loss, but it's just some of the team selection. And we've got a 3v3 here. We could be in trouble. Newcastle looking far more likely to get the second goal. St Maximin shoots wide. No, I mean, Joe Willock shoots wide. St Maximin went off ages ago. I just saw left winger and thought it was him. But it was Willock, who's already got one. Bought Sancho to be a right winger. He's played the best football of his career on the right at Dortmund, and same goes for Rashford on the left. Makes little sense, says Sam. I didn't think the Europa League would be so important for Champions League qualification, just an added extra trophy, but we're going to need to win it, says Lee. Mark, would you add live league table to the carousel? It's already there, mate. It's there. We're fourth. Newcastle are third. 10 minutes to go. Go on, wide right. See, look at Martial dropping in to link the play. Man United are top of the league for goals scored after the 76th minute. Lovely ball by Martinez. We just need a chance. Shah, welcome to the Members Club. Here's Sancho. Needs a pass. Delo. Probably not worth putting a cross in. We don't really have any height in there. This is where we need Scott McTominay to arrive late into the box and score a bloody goal. Oh, God. Fred's coming on and Pelistri's coming on. Well, this will be interesting what he does, because I guarantee he'll still keep fucking Scott McTominay on. A draw here would be a miracle. Dave's man of the match, says Mank in Chicago. And a win for Liverpool's sake, says KW. Yeah, Liverpool need a United result, don't they? Top four race. Well done, Delo. Here's Bruno. Here's Sabitzer. Into Martial. Nice play. Oh, McTominay. Why is McTominay now playing in as an attacking midfielder again? Martial. Shoot! Oh. Movement's so much better with someone like Martial, though, isn't it? Just somebody who's actually can move. We're a different team. Mobility and movement. That's a good block as well. I think that might have been going in. If Spurs win tomorrow, we go fifth. Yeah. Another Newcastle player going down. Oh yeah. Well, they're going to go down a lot now, aren't they? Because Eric has moaned about their time wasting, so they're going to time waste. Lindelof's coming on as well. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. We've got an injury. Oh, please don't have an injury to a centre-back. McTominay finally comes off. Fucking hell. I mean, how long has that been coming? So McTominay's going to come off for Fred. I don't know what this is all about. Martinez for Pelistri. And Lindelof's going to come on for Varane. Well, I tell you what. Explain that one to me, because I haven't got a bloody clue. We've just took both our centre-backs off for Lindelof and Pellistri. Don't look like they're injured. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. Glazers have ruined us as fans. We are hoping Martial saves us. It's unbelievable, says Brian. We're probably just going all out attack, aren't we, for 10 minutes? All out attack. Yeah, look, you know, at the end of the day. Yeah, but I get that. But why take Varane and Martinez off, though? Like, you can still go all out attack and have 3 at the back. Oh, well, look, we've got a corner now. There's no heights. We've got no height at all. We just took off our 2 tallest players. Lindelof gets on the end of it, goes over the bar. Look, you may as well lose 2-0 and have a go. Martinez ain't happy. I think this is a risk all move. We already lost the game if we don't attack, says Nicholas. Look, if we can get a point out of this, I'll celebrate it like the Carabao Cup. It's a big 10 minutes, but at this back 3 to said Watson, it's a big 10 minutes, but every United fan knows Newcastle deserve to win this game. So we're just hoping if we can, you know, if we can snatch a draw. If we don't, I think it's one of those games where you've got to say that Ten Hag is human and he's made mistakes. I mean, the fact that Fred was always fit, I find amazing, really. Sancho's a luxury player, isn't he? He ain't there for the work. He ain't there for the work. He's no good defensive. He just doesn't put the work in defensively, Sancho, and Rashford doesn't. So you've got 2 wide players that don't put the work in. I mean, look, if you want to be really harsh on the Dalot goal, he's got 3 people to mark. I'm not saying Anthony would have tracked back, but Sancho had just come on the pitch and he's not tracking back. We're playing away from home. We've been dominated. Your first job is probably going to be defensive, not standing unmarked on the right wing. We've been awful today, says Adam. Yeah, I mean, look, Newcastle deserve to win it. I don't like to say it because it's such an important game, but you know, we've all got eyes and we can all see what's happened. We've lost this game. We've been poor, says Detta. I mean, even now, Newcastle are still the more likely team to score. They're the better side. Dave says to be a luxury player, got to play good. I mean, the time's just ticking away here. We're playing right into Newcastle's hands. Martinez Lindelof came on saying 3-5-2. Says SK. Two 2-0. It's a weird one, this, right? Explain this one to me, right? We pick McTominay because we need height. We're 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go and we take all the height off the pitch. Varane's gone off, Weghorst has gone off, McTominay's gone off. We've got nobody good in the air. And then a cross comes in and they score from a corner. They score from a cross. I don't get it. I didn't understand that substitution of taking Varane off and Martinez off and bringing Lindelof on. Like, Lindelof's not good in the air. We've got no height on a cross. I don't get it. I just don't get what that substitution was all about. If you've got Varane on the pitch there, I mean, Callum Wilson's not even very big. You've got Rashford and Lindelof as the central defenders there. It's just weird. I don't know what I mean, look, I love Ten Hag. Great manager. But today, he's got it completely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Rubbish. Honest observations as Kevin. I don't think I've ever seen Sancho put in a tackle, and I'm not joking. Well, Anthony shouldn't have come off for Sancho. Anthony was having a much better game than what Sancho's given. And, you know, for the first time probably this season, I'm going to say this is on Ten Hag. He's just got it completely wrong. The Scott McTominay obsession is ridiculous. The Weghorst experiment just doesn't work. And, you know, here's a hot take for you. If Weghorst wasn't so likeable, is he any better than what Agallo was a couple of years ago for Ollie, who was considered a flop? Like, you know, we like Weghorst because he's a nice guy, but is he any better? And oh my God, we could be 3-0 down here. If you don't turn up, you'll get beat, says Fred. This is disgusting. I hate this. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Yeah, you can take losing, but it's just a shit show from United, this. Absolutely shit. We're down to 4th. I don't get it. I said it at the time. People were going, we're going to a back three, Mark. We're going to a back three. I'm like, we've got no centre-backs who are good in the air. Like Martinez for his height is good in the air and Varane is good in the air. We've gone to Lindelof at centre-back on his own against the team that's still really big. You picked Scott McTominay because he's big, and then you've took all your bloody big players off with 10 minutes to go, and they're still attacking. I know we've gone to a back three, but just keep Varane on. I don't get that substitution at all. I don't get it. And I do agree, you know, at the end of the day, this is going to go down on Ten Hag, so we may as well highlight a few other things as well. Rashford's been terrible. Anthony was playing better. So you're keeping a player on the pitch on reputation over form. Like, Anthony was doing a lot better than Rashford. Rashford's had a terrible game today. And Anthony... You see Grealish tracking back to block Salah yesterday. How far away from doing those defensive actions is Sancho, says Luke. Sancho lost his place in the team in October because he didn't track back in the game in Turkey. He still doesn't track back. Joris says, I still don't understand why Anthony came off. My patience with Sancho is gone, and McTominay, I think this is peak of the squad. 4th place. I don't know, Mark. We are in 4th. Spurs place tomorrow, says Sumi. Ten Hag got too cute. Massive fault today, says Ali. I don't think top 4's in any danger, apart from the fact that it is in danger. But what I mean is our run-in is reasonable, and you will have Casemiro and Eriksen back, which will make a massive difference. But some of these players just aren't good enough. Some of these players are still putting a red shirt on, and they're not good enough. Bad game today. United need 4 new players, says Krista. Newcastle thoroughly deserve this. Like, 2-0 probably doesn't tell the full story. They've been the better side. I mean, look, we've had 1 shot on target. Look at that. 21 shots from Newcastle. We've had 1 shot on target. You can't argue. It seems Ten Hag has given up on the game, and that's not acceptable, says I'm Groot. Ten Hag has stunk. Rashford on the right is absurd. Casemiro red is a joke. McTominay playing is an absolute make of a Wish Foundation, says Alex. Look, you know, as many people know, I'm a massive fan of Erik Ten Hag, but he's human. He's human. Like, he's got it completely wrong today. We've picked a player up front. We've picked Scott McTominay because he scored a couple of goals for Scotland. And not only that, we've picked Scott McTominay because he scored a couple of goals for Scotland, and we've put him in fucking number 10. Baffling. And where's Fred in all this? Where's Paul Pogba in this? I've played the game. No, where's Fred in all this? He's clearly fit. Why is Fred not played? Don't get it. Do not get it. Eden says, how does McTominay fool our managers? He must be bloody brilliant in training. I'd much rather we played with 10 men than McTominay. Julian says, this is why you don't pick someone off international form. Oh, they'll score again. Newcastle's tails are up here. They're going to score again. Bloody hell. Oh, they nearly scored again. Well, I've got my title ready for my match reaction. I know what it is. I did say this. What did I say? We're all excited to have the football back, but in a couple of hours' time, at full time, we might not be so excited. Another loss. Newcastle are loving this. And apart from their toxic, vile arsehole fans on social media, which have surprised me this season, I've never really minded Newcastle. And they totally deserve to win this game. I can't, we don't have a rivalry with Newcastle like we do with Liverpool and stuff. And no loss is nice. But they look at the stats. They totally deserve to win this game. They've been the better team. They should have been winning at half-time. It was 0-0. They went and won the second half 2-0. There's no, take your medicine at the end of the day. LS Coleman says, I'm so happy I stayed up till 4 a.m. Yeah. I'm just trying to write subs. Right, oh, there's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. There it is. That's the final whistle. Well, we'll go to the match reaction and we'll get on with that because I'm absolutely fed up with that. Absolutely fed up with that. Well done to Newcastle. Look, I know about red tinted glasses. I know about supporting your club and everything like that. But sometimes you just got to put your hands up and say, we lost to the better side. Newcastle were way better than us. Way better than us. In fact, 2-0 could have been 4-0. It could have been another trouncing. How it was 0-0 at half-time, I don't know. But there's a lot to pick out from that. And unfortunately, it was always going to happen because no manager is invincible. But I don't know what Ten Hag was playing at today. He's got that absolutely wrong. And probably for the first time this season, there's got to be questions about the manager. Not his job. God, no. I mean, but they're talking about giving him a contract till 2028. This is United's problem as well. Oh, we want to give him a 5-year deal. And what happens? He goes and puts in his worst performances as a Man United manager. Like, there's a lot of work to do at that club, and maybe everybody's starting to think there isn't, because that is a shambles today. Arrogant team selections, substitutions, performances. There's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do at this club. I'll see you on the match reaction in a minute. Player ratings, loads to discuss. I'll see you there in a bit.